It's that time again. We are going to dive into the misadventures of our brave heroes with, I guess we were calling this Dyson Fools. So, yep, God help them. So,
Too sweet for him.
That's a weird intro.
Oh my god.
So, when we last left off, the party done goofed. They got out of the lab before it exploded. Good for them. They holed up for the night in the safety of the inn that they half blew up. And then they were ambushed by the rest of the army of bandits that they had previously pissed off and then let the leader get away and know where they were found. Oops. So, after a long fight that they almost won, surprisingly, one of the party is dead and being dragged behind as the others are taken into slavery. Partway through the journey, they woke up the next day, and the other cart that was full of the survivors that they had worked so hard to save, and they all had turned into the infected zombies. So the slavers just kind of left the wagon in the middle of the desert. And now they've are reaching the desert port city of Pandathaway, which I previously completely fucked up the pronunciation of. And then I saw how I had it spelled out and felt like an idiot. And yeah, they're gonna be slaves.
I'm already a slave to student loan debt.
So, yeah, this is going well.
Very well.
You're dead.
True.
Hurry up and reboot. Activate new protocol. Become Casimir 2.0.
And if you actually look on the stream, you can see what I did to the token. Because I'm a dick.
Oh no.
Activate reboot protocols.
The first two episodes are officially on YouTube as of last night. So if you have 16 hours and you want to kill, watch them. Excuse the audio issues, the first two, because I forgot to unmute the Discord in OBS, so you can barely hear them for the first 5 minutes. And then myself in the second episode for the first 2 minutes.
Hey, at least it's 5 minutes out of like 5 hours of playing.
10 hours.
Yeah.
10 hours. So, yeah. I think that's about it. The podcast that Rusty does, they did upload the next episode a couple days ago. So, what is that called and where can people find it?
Called Nat One and Run. You can find it on most major podcast platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud.
And it's fucking hilarious. A little bit of it, that one's set in a steampunk style world created entirely by the DM, correct?
Yep, that's true. And I play as a quirky blood hunter with an army of rats.
What?
Which part? The rats or the blood hunter?
What?
Yeah.
What?
No, he's not looking for a bakery. All right.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Aha.
Oh, I was doing the other one. I'll just keep that tabbed.
Yep. So, yeah.
And now a train goes by. WTF.
We don't hear it at least, so there is that.
I have
So-
the exact same problem. I live right next to the subway tracks, so trust me, you're not alone there.
So, I guess we should just start with what you see.
Oh.
I have a basic map that I found that works. Just ignore the trees for the most part. It is kind of a desert. So,
Yeah, fuck those trees.
yes.
I mean, what?
There once were trees there. And then bullshit happened. Because remember, in the world of Toril, only about 7 years ago did the worlds get split again. And for about 100 years, the worlds of Greyhawk and Toril were kind of smashed together. And some things got left behind and some things were taken. When...
Choo-choo.
So... Choo-choo, motherfucker.
I live right
It's the
next to
coal
their
train.
I live right next to their docking station, so they keep blowing their horn nonstop during it.
Oh.
Really sucks when they run midnight trains.
Eventually you stop
Oh.
hearing it. Or you stop sleeping.
Just yell out your window, "Shut up, Thomas."
But he yells it in his house, too.
I did yell out at the bus garage, "I don't want to go to school today," when they kept honking their horns at 4 a.m. 5 a.m. That was before I started working the morning shift.
That's funny.
Alright. But, I don't know if you guys saw the title I put on the stream for this episode.
Yup.
Yeah.
And sadly, I am all about that gold, and I gotta agree, that is one of the best ways. I am born from the Archdevil of Greed.
It's a way to make gold, but it's a horrible, immoral, monstrous, sad, awful way to make gold.
Except in Pandith the way it's completely legal.
Hey, as long as it's legal.
We should fix that.
Oh, yes. I'm dead, so I have no say in the matter.
Activate reboot protocols.
I love... So, you guys are in the
Control,
wagon.
Alt-Delete.
So you guys are in the wagon. You're approaching the main gate on the right-hand side.
I am yelling out the window, Control Alt Delete, reboot.
So, take it away.
Oh, I gotta try and be Connor Veritas. Alright then, let's try and do this.
Be a cocky prick
do that.
who's trapped in a cell. Because
Dude,
you guys do have those magic blocking shackles on.
I mean, cocky is one way to put it. I prefer believe strongly in his own capabilities.
Mr. Zombie Man over there talking.
I won't be a zombie for a little less than 3 weeks. Okay then.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's figured out that you're infected, have they?
No, I
No,
think
they
we
have.
they were discussing it
Mhm.
last game, and I think they finally landed on the fact that he might be infected.
Yeah.
Might be isn't
We
the
used
word.
deductive reasoning because our rolls weren't good enough on their own.
Connor definitely is.
Yeah, and I showed it to you guys. I was like, hey, you know how those zombie bites were, you know, trying to get infected and stuff? Well, look at this.
And those stupid bandits didn't think to check if the merchandise was damaged because, well, why would they think those zombies were anything different? I mean, people have dealt with the undead for centuries at this point.
Yeah. Plus, it's not going to matter to them because we're going to get sold to people. Then it's their problem.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not if
A
we
pet-
die first.
A packed city like that, you know, I don't see a zombie plague in a city like that as a problem. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I yell out the window, "Hey, Sergeant Richard!"
Let's just not discuss that part. We're
Yeah.
not even there. I'm dead. I don't even know I'm talking. I'm sorry.
And I'm Connor Veritas, Master of the Arcane. This zombie bite will do nothing. Hopefully.
I wonder if that zombie infection infects animals too.
Oh, don't even start there. No.
Well, considering they left that one out in the desert, all it would take is a bird of prey, is a scavenger bird, going in and biting on the flesh.
Ugh.
In theory.
Stop.
And
No.
then the birds are great transmitters of disease.
Stop giving Zach ideas. No.
Hey, she's thinking this in character.
Oh no.
It just happens to also give the DM more ideas.
Well,
He
stop
didn't
it.
already have that. He may have already had the idea.
Knowing Zach, he probably did, but stop it.
Zombie sandworm.
Zombie dragon.
Nah, Draco Lich. Anyway, so you guys are just kind of sitting there shitting yourself or discussing socioeconomical justices of slavery.
Hey,
Sorry.
no, this is only probably the second time that this has happened to me.
Oh. Normally I insert the same kind of joke I normally would, but
I'm not gonna be
with how fucked the world is, probably shouldn't. Alright,
I'm not
so
gonna be a slave again.
We'll be fine.
Allie's in a good place.
If I see one of the guards out the window, I'm just gonna yell out, "Hey, can you get the guild master again? It happened again." And I still owe them gold.
The guards don't seem to react. They don't even look at you guys. Like you're invisible.
Oh, and we have somebody infected with a zombie plague.
Oh God.
Wow.
So we're not.
Guard doesn't
gonna...
seem to react.
Okay, good. Just I'm. I
Yes?
don't even have a response for that.
I think I've sums it up pretty well.
Well, at least we know Shava's the type of person that will admit to zombie bites on other people.
Well, yeah, she's not infected. Her wounds closed right up. Yours didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, if I was any other character. But I'm Connor Veritas, and I'll be just fine.
So, as you
Need to find a
travel,
cleric.
yeah, about that.
Oh no.
As you are traveling through the main road to, kind of a merchant square, best way to describe it. Kind of the main hub area. For context, if you're looking on the screen, oh crap, can't highlight it easily, bastard. This area is what I'm talking about. A bunch of large buildings. Your school isn't in that area. Your school is more over here. Kind of down here. Out of the way.
All I see is your arrow over the dialogue box.
Yeah, for some reason, and it's usually not a problem for us because we can generally go by tokens, but generally when you're hovering over things, for some reason it like puts it over the chat box instead of the map. I think
Yeah,
that's
it's because
Fantasy Grounds
nope,
problem.
It's OBS. It's because for some reason, if I don't have Discord minimized, it will show my mouse cursor even on the Discord window. So, okay, so yeah, so you guys came in. I don't know if you can see my cursor in Fantasy Grounds or not.
You really need to set up Fantasy Grounds for us to join.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randy worked today, so I wasn't able to get the login from him.
It's cool. It's cool.
So, yeah. There you go. I drew a little arrow
We
and shit.
found the green line.
Yes.
We follow the green line.
Yeah.
I'm dead. Why am I talking?
Yeah, you're dead. Shut up.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be right back. I'm dead.
You might want 3 fingers worth. All right.
Can
So,
somebody at least let me reactivate the Warforged? That way he can fetch money too. Maybe we'll be a package deal. I don't know.
Can you reboot him as a cleric?
I don't know.
That
But-
would be helpful.
yeah. So, those of you who are from or had experience in this city, you know that there are no temples.
So everyone but me?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
It's a matter of if you guys decide to tell him or not. That, yeah, religion's not really welcome here because religion seems to generally frown on the acquisition of money by any means necessary.
Which is another reason why the Artificers College has such a good hold here. Because they make healer classes as well for Artificers. That just happen to make money for their healing.
Yeah.
Like me.
I'm so screwed.
Now, I don't remember. How long has Shava been away from here? From the city?
Not
2 years?
very long, actually,
was
according
gonna
to our backstory. We
what-
have just headed out again.
I was going to say, was it about a year?
No.
Because I looked at the backstory and didn't actually say outright how long it's been. It was like 6 months or a year, I thought.
About 6 months at the most, because of the travel time to get there.
Okay. Well, then you wouldn't know. Okay. Now you do pass on the way through bounty board and wanted posters. So if you want, you could try to do perception checks
I want to see
to
if
see what you can read
yeah.
in passing.
I would like to. Oh wait, I'm dead.
You can still try a perception check with 5. I guarantee you'll have to have something like over 50 to see it. So if that's not possible, sorry.
This dice
Only
roll
read
is shit.
Perception. Hey, I get that in it.
Okay, there it is. It finally showed up. Okay. Oh, damn it. So minimized, it doesn't work. So fuck me. Alright, so I'll have to keep it up. So.
Well, will I get extra experience? Otherwise, no. Sorry.
Okay, so. 2 of you don't see shit. Connor, in passing, you just kind of see the typical looking for, monster killers and guards. And underneath one, you see something about for killing a gut. And that's all you kind of see.
For killing
Guh. G-U.
Okay.
Cut off.
I wasn't sure if you cut it off on purpose or if your wife cut it off.
Like it's underneath a bunch of other ones.
His internet
Okay.
seems to stabilize out, so
Yeah, because Discord's being a
thumbs up on
dick.
that one.
So, yeah, you guys don't see shit. No, nothing stands out. And you guys, when you get to one of the larger buildings. The large double doors are opened up, and the wagon and carts just go right through. And behind you, the door closes. And you can hear a couple guys talking about how they had to leave the other cart behind. They'll clean it out later. And they are you also hear them discussing what they're going to do with you guys. And the general consensus is that they will set up an auction for the evening. One of the guys tries to come up and just go, "But boss, we can't." "Shut up, we'll do it tonight." "No, you don't get. I don't care. Just get it ready." And with that, your wagon is left. There's nothing that you can reach, and it looks like a dark room. But those of you with dark vision can actually make out that it is a large empty room, and there would have been room for another wagon. But you guys kind of left it behind for reasons.
Well, I can't see anything.
You can see it's dim light, so it's not like it's dark, but
Well, yeah, but
you don't.
I'm a human boy, so
Yeah.
It's
You
all
could.
right, you aren't missing much. It's an empty room.
Yeah. Stone, stone walls, like it's cut from sandstone. Large wood doors look like they have the metal banding to reinforce it. Like whatever, if you're not supposed to be there, you're not gonna get in easily, is the kind of the vibe they're going with.
Did they leave our robot friend's body with us, or?
Yeah, he's got it dumped off in the corner
Okay.
because they have no idea what the hell to do with it. They're thinking about selling it for scrap metal. Is the best
Casimir.
guess you can come up with.
Reboot! Reboot!
Okay. So you guys have a couple hours to plan and figure out how you're going to get out.
So we're finally alone. Anyone have any ideas? I, Connor Veritas, am open to suggestions.
Find a sharp object.
If I remember correctly, some of us, they took our clothing and armor and left us with small clothes if we had it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm completely naked, so I have nothing to fight with.
I have clothes.
Yeah, I believe it's been previously established that Connor is in his underwear around two naked girls.
Yep.
Both with high charisma.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I was thinking, you know, we could bash our heads against the walls of this cart until we die. There's always that.
Let's call that plan last resort. Is there anything around of interest besides the slumped body of our friend?
Well, Connor, go ahead and give a perception check.
Do I have disadvantage because it's dim light?
It's not dark, so it's no darker than if you turn off your light in a fully darkened room right now, because it is still
Okay.
still early afternoon.
So perception?
Yep.
All right. Oh my god, this
Can
dice
I-
roller.
Can I roll an investigation to investigate around the cart to look for a weak board on it or a weak area on the wall?
You can try.
It's dark in here.
You are well aware that there are 2 naked girls in front of you.
Oh my god.
Dang this bot!
Yeah, the fucker pissed me off Wednesday.
Can we get a new bot?
I, only we could do this in Fantasy Grounds. The Fantasy Grounds is really nice to me.
It's fair to me. It rolls a few once, but at least it gives me some nice rolls too.
I
Yes.
know, I rolled so many nat 20s in Fantasy Grounds, it's fun.
Yes, that's what makes us entertaining. The train wreck is amusing. So,
Maybe.
well, yeah, for me, content. All right.
If
So-
you look at me, I'll kill you.
Okay, so Connor, you probably shouldn't look her way.
Alright. I wouldn't dream of it anyway. For modesty's sake, you are quite beautiful. Anyway!
Oh, look! There might not be any means to use as a shovel, but he's really digging himself a hole.
Yes.
Just keep digging. You might dig through the cart.
You don't want to die out there. I can always kill you here.
One second, I'm gonna mute myself.
All right.
Okay.
You okay? Are you dying?
Maybe a little bit, but that's okay.
All right. Well, if you can't think of any other means to escape or any way to
Is there-
improvise.
So there's nothing around the cart within reach or nothing that we can use within reach.
Right. It's kind of obvious that these guys aren't just dumb lummoxes. That they've done this for a while. Like
You mean like no one left a bobby pin or anything that could be used as a lockpick?
well, bobby pins don't exist.
I
You mean-
didn't know that.
I mean, no one hid a lockpick in their prison pocket like in Skyrim?
There's no like loose nails in the cart or anything.
That's
like
what I was
that.
saying. Was his Chavez investigation turned up? This is actually a well-maintained cart for a bunch of bandits. They seem to pay top dollar to maintain their equipment.
I don't
Like almost like this was a goddamn business or something. Meanwhile, da-da-da-da-da. Okay. So what kind of trouble are we getting into?
Depends.
Well, you hear that there's rumblings of an auction, a slave auction, which is really weird because in the last 2 months, slave auctions have decreased from being at least once a week to this is the first one you've heard of in nearly a month. Like, for some reason, they are winding down and no longer being a thing.
I wonder why that is.
So,
Because indentured servitude is becoming all the rage.
so what kind of shenanigans would you be up to, or would you be trying to glean information? How would you go about it? Generally, what is your dead self doing?
I would say if I were a free man and not dead, obviously,
Purely
I
hypothetical.
would be probably poking my nose around the square to see what's going on.
Okay. Stealthily or not?
Probably stealthily.
Well, go ahead and try stealth with your new stats and go ahead and do an investigation afterwards to see how much information you could glean. Oh shit.
And investigation, right?
Yep. Yeah, you blend into the crowd perfectly. Almost like you grew up in doing it. Oh fuck.
Oh my god, the dice roller is being nice to you.
Well,
Finally.
to be fair, it did fuck him over entirely when it came to his death saves and then divine intervention. But so Trouble, the best information you can find is that nobody really knows what's going on. That there's just less slavers operating openly. Maybe the auctions are ending, or maybe they're being moved, but they're not as common. Nobody knows why.
Interesting.
There is rumbling of, or at least rumor that it could be that there's someone new in charge.
Very interesting.
But the city never really had leadership before. It was kind of just...
Do what you want.
It was kind of a case of mutually assured destruction. Like, if any of the factions kind of went to war with each other, they'd all wipe each other out. There would be no winner. And so for somebody to rise above that is very peculiar.
Very.
But that's the best you could glean even with the 20 is because nobody really knows anything. Anyone who might know, they're not saying anything.
That makes sense.
Either they're too scared or they're too dead.
Yeah, that makes sense. Complete sense.
And around...
So did
what's that?
I see that new cart come in, or...
You would have heard at least about the new shipment arriving. That's how you knew that there's rumblings of a...
Just making sure.
Yeah. You didn't see it because, well...
Right.
With your own stuff going on. You know? The whole hiding from the guards kind of thing.
No, that makes sense. Complete sense.
Though, as it quickly approaches around 5:30-ish, it's hard to tell when you're looking at the sun in the desert sky. But for time context, it's about 5:30 when the doors of the slaver building is opened and your cart is opened by an easy half dozen very well armed and very refreshed and combat ready bandits that you've not seen before, who clearly have been maintaining the base, are opening the door and waiting for you to get out. One of them reaches the bars and just looks at you and says, "Up, out."
We're so screwed. Okay.
Do you comply? Do you resist? What happens?
I comply.
I comply.
Connor Veritas shall comply.
Good choice, because as you guys are moving past him, you see in his hand, he's tapping, it looks like a metal rod in his other palm. And occasionally the tip crackles with lightning.
Oh my god. Freaking magic cattle prod.
There's an Artificer's Guild here. It doesn't have to be magic.
Valid point.
Eh.
So, the two girls are separated from Connor only by a few feet.
Okay.
As another best you guess is bandit comes in wearing some fine gloves and begins to inspect, like opening your mouth to look at your teeth and seeing if you have any marks.
Oh no.
He's inspecting the merchandise.
Oh no.
Makes sense.
Connor is still standing with that same air of confidence like nothing is wrong.
So they observe any scars that you have from your battles and your history. And the one inspecting you turns and says something to someone who's writing on a pad nearby, and with each blemish and marking. And then he turns and walks over to you, Connor, and one of the guards behind you drops your small clothes.
Okay. Standing proud.
As he begins to invasively poke and prod at you to see any and all blemishes and marks.
Yep. Not
Hey,
phased at all.
He did sneak a rod in.
That one got me.
Itty bitty Paul.
It's not the size; it's how much magic you can push through it.
Oh my god.
The pop-up pork sword returns.
I cast enlarge.
It
Oh,
backfires.
No.
It backfires as reduce.
Size is no issue for Connor Veritas.
I'm sorry. Let's be fair here. Connor gives off micro dick energy. Come on.
It's true.
Oh my god.
And though he does remark that you are too wiry, that you're not going to sell for great because they'll have to train you to do labor. And in your mind, you're probably going, "Joke's on you, assholes!" But after a few minutes of poking and prodding and
And I'm probably the dumbass that will say, if it helps increase the cost, I'm the great-grandchild. I'm from the lineage of Minoris.
I am Connor
makes a note.
Veritas, master of the arcane.
She's dumb enough to help them raise the price on her. Well, she's not dumb, but
I don't
She's
say
so-
anything as a starehead.
she's so greedy she'll expect more money for her.
And I'm just Connor Veritas. I'm a master of the arcane.
they end up throwing or having you step into sacks. Best way to describe it, that they pull up in lace behind your neck as kind of a smock to cover you up for public decency. Though it you could definitely tell without even having, just going by base passives, that they're making some inappropriate comments about the lady folk. Because of course they are.
Mm-hmm.
Assholes.
At one point, if I can see one of the guys who are off to the side making comments, I'm going to use my tail and slowly lift the side of my sack up just to show a bit of thigh, and then drop it back down again.
Of course you are.
I'll blue ball the bastards. I don't care. What are they going to do? Buy me themselves? They don't make enough money from these to buy one of the slaves.
Pretty much, yeah. You're not wrong.
Oh God.
So, the daring swashbuckler is broken. The artificer is sledding. And Connor is just being Connor.
Connery.
Yeah.
I'm Connor Veritas, and I'm confident no matter the situation.
Hello! Alright. So, you guys are marched out into a large back area onto a stage. Meanwhile, in the crowd, Trouble, you can clearly see them, the three of them, being marched out on stage. Like, this is really fucking slim pickings for this bandit guild.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I
And
resent that.
emphasis on slim when it comes to Connor. In
I'm
both
a
ways.
master of the arcade.
So since Trouble has been around this part of the city quite a lot in the last couple of years, would she ever have noticed the tiefling girl?
Well, I don't know. How much does Shafa spend with the urchins and peasants outside the gate? The far left-hand side of the map. Because that's kind of the slums.
Only about enough time to be able to pay them for if they can get anything for her on the cheap for materials. She doesn't really associate with them necessarily, but she will pay them for cheap resourced materials. That's how
Okay.
they turn a profit in her shop.
Well, here's how we'll do it. Both of you roll a D100.
Ooh.
Let's let the bag of hoe decide.
Oh. Ooh.
Okay. Alright. It's possible you've seen the slave in passing, but they are a purple tiefling, so that's kind of common.
Okay.
So it's one of those, you've seen the face, but you don't know why.
So it's like, why the hell do I recognize this person?
I know you.
Well,
Who the fuck are you?
Exactly. Why am I just staring at you for like an inordinately long time? Just like, who?
But
I
you,
was just curious.
yeah, that's fair. Hey, you both rolled pretty fucking high. I was gonna say if
Right?
if you matched within like 5, I was gonna say yeah, you recognize each other. But both being that incredibly high, yeah, it's like you've seen each other in passing. You might not recognize each other at all, and for you, Trouble, from Shava's point of view, you are just a face in the crowd.
Oh, absolutely.
The
She's
sea of
100% blending in right now.
That's assuming Shava could even meet that 25 on stealth.
Not with her. Not with Strava's perception. She is not attentive.
Yeah, I was gonna say you'd have to roll like a 22 on die.
Oh,
I don't think that's gonna happen. So,
yeah. She's very much blending in. Like,
oh yeah,
she's staying like well enough back that nobody like could recognize her, but with a clear view of everything that's going on.
right. Yep. And with a bit of bickering off stage that the victims might be able to hear in passing, but wouldn't be able to make out very well, the chieftain strides out, gun glistening on his hip. Like he spent the last couple hours cleaning it and getting himself presentable.
I'm gonna enjoy.
Polish your weapon too much, and it might go off.
Oh,
If I weren't broken right now, I'd make a joke about compensating for something.
Well, you never know. That might not be his only double-barrel weapon. And let you think about that for a moment. But he gestures to the three of you and proceeds to try to rile up the crowd and get them hyped up for sales.
Oh, I can help
Oh.
with that. Seductive smile. Hi, boys.
Um,
Gotta get as much money as possible for me.
oh my god.
Not helping, am I?
he does.
I am Connor Veritas, and I'm just standing there smiling with just this.
I want to die.
Everything is fine. Look,
Deer in headlights.
I've been in worse situations.
I like have my head down, just staring at my feet.
Yeah, that's about what I expect. And he makes a comment to having found more, but they were not of reliable quality. So he left them for the beasts.
Uh-oh.
And then he
I really hope that virus is not transmittable to animals.
Oh, we're...
And then he gestures to the three of you. He walks over and grabs your shackles by the chain, Connor, and jerks you forward ahead of them and goes, "We'll start easy, start simple." He looks
Well, they
weak.
definitely got that right.
He looks weak, but
Hey!
I'm sorry. Shava's a bit of a. She's very competitive.
look at his hands. He's not a lifter. He reads. He could make for a decent tutor. Or he looks you with a grin, Connor, and goes, "Bottom." Or
Yeah, you can be a Yuki.
but if you need just another mule to burn out, we'll have better on our next visit. So while we start small, start simple, 50 gold. And there's kind of a quiet bidding.
You could get
Yeah.
more than that just off of his spell book. And having him make more spells.
And hearing that, somebody says 200.
You're welcome.
Thank you, for I am Connor Veritas, master of the arcade, and I know 7 languages.
Oh, there you go. He can also be a translator.
Crickets. Crickets. Where the hell did they get crickets in the desert?
I'm... Well, thank you, Shava. I appreciate that.
You do, Shava, though, you do hear the tapping of the metal rod in guy's hand behind you.
So, random question: how far away is the guild from here?
What guild?
Shava's guild.
Oh, it
Oh, the
is.
Artificer College.
It is way the fuck. Up here.
Okay.
So, with how large the city is, like, when you realize that these are individual buildings, it would take a lot of time to get there.
That's what I thought. I was just curious how far away it was, just in case Shava decides to scream out again about.
And the bidding kind of goes slow, and they finally settle on just over 250 gold.
Not terrible.
That's not too bad of a warm up. Good job.
Thank you. I don't know if I should be proud about this.
How can you guys take this in stride?
Because I'm Connor Veritas, nothing gets to me.
Except for that cattle prod.
Huh?
Actually, I was just about to zap you both.
Oh, lovely.
Not very good slaves, are they? They just
No,
keep
exactly. That's why they
Well-
took. Connor took 2 and Shafa got 3 lightning damage. He's like, ha! Yeah, but you're closer to dead than she is, so I don't.
Ow! I made one of those in school.
Shafa, go ahead and do a perception check on it.
Nope.
You don't know.
Oh my God.
You're not 100% sure. You think it might be the one you made in kindergarten. You don't know though. So the chief then grabs Allie's shackles and jerks her forward. If you don't go with, you would stumble.
I hesitate for a moment, so I guess, yeah, I would stumble.
He then tips your face up, or making you look out over the crowd, so everyone can see your pretty little face. And he
Those are
goes,
my eyes.
and he goes, "See here, now this is a fine specimen. Except for some unsightly injuries that came before we found her. She's meek. Clearly, she is meek and well trained. So clearly, she would serve you quite well in any way you intend."
I grit my teeth very hard, like openly.
Ugh.
Ooh, you hit a nerve on that with trouble.
So what we say? We start the bidding at 1,000 gold,
Oh.
and the bidding war starts off.
You know what?
And-
Now I'm kind of disappointed.
And it almost turns into a fervor arguing. The bids just keep going, and it's almost like a fight with the attitude and the demeanor between them. Because a good, well-trained slave is hard to come by, especially today. because
Con-
because
I
so many of
think
them think they
Connor-
have a sense of self still.
Sorry, what?
I said because so many of them seem to think they have a sense of self still. Like Connor.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just I feel tears coming to my eyes as my mouth is formed into a snarl, and my whole body is just shaking in rage, and yet I don't react.
And the bidding finally ends at nearly 3,000 gold.
Dang.
And the fat, bald, disgusting-looking rich man with his bushy orange beard, or I mean, mustache, not beard. He just kind of squeals in delight as he claps his hands. He's like, and just licks his lips, looking at his soon-to-be new toy.
Yeah, I think I'll cough in Sylvan and just say pig.
He just looks at you and smiles.
I'm really glad I still have my iPad.
And last but not least, Shava is dragged in front of everyone.
She
And
walks willing.
he
Oh, are our hands tied in front or behind?
front. So that way everybody can see, so they can see where your hands are at all times.
Hello?
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 Oh man, did it disconnect again?
I mean,
think
we
so.
can hear you.
Yeah, we could hear you just fine. I said your hands are bound or shackled in front of you. So that way they could easily see what you're trying to do.
Hello? Oh, there you are.
Front, so that way they can see what you're doing.
Alright. Sorry, my data cut out again. My
Ooh,
service.
fun.
We can hear you.
Oh,
The
yeah, I couldn't
chains
hear you guys.
only have about 2 inches of slack too. So, not much room to work. Especially with, even if they were real shackles, they would definitely impede your somatic component of spells.
Right.
So you wouldn't be able to actually do much more than, you wouldn't be able to do the dramatic gestures of casting a spell. You might be able to do like the subtle gestures of a cantrip, but you wouldn't be able to do grand gestures even if these didn't block your magic.
Right.
Just because you don't have enough give. But he pulls
Yeah, I
you
can't cast
forward.
magic anyways because I don't have my tools, so I'm not really worried about that.
Right. He pulls
Yeah.
you forward, Shava. And
And when we get up front, I bow to the crowd.
he then drags or draws your tail out from underneath your dress and just kind of caresses the underside of it as he's letting it fall from his fingers so people could see it, that it's real.
Oof. Everything you do is just making.
It will whip
a little
once
bit
on the
more angry.
ground because that was kind of insulting to her. But it just whips to the ground, which also shows that it's really real.
Yeah. Imagine that. The slaver doesn't give a shit about personal space and boundaries. Who knew?
What a shocker.
Yeah,
He
I
was
know.
talking about having his way with me before the auction.
Exactly.
Just memorizing his face.
And though you do notice that he clearly bathed and he looks a bit more dapper. So he put in some effort in his appearance. Like, like he's a businessman or something. And
Don't forget to mention I'm a college graduate. It'll get you more money.
just kind of looks at you, goes,
You're,
okay.
you're telling him how to do his job. That's funny.
Well, he's a man. He needs a little help.
Connor, you get zapped for another 3 points of lightning damage.
Hey, I didn't say that was Connor. I didn't even do the voice. But okay, that's in character.
You know, almost like they're trying to teach her a lesson by electrocuting her friends.
They don't realize that he's not my friend. Oh boy.
Aww.
To be fair, Shava was only friends with one person in the group, and that was Casimir.
And then he killed himself.
Yup.
So he then starts the bidding at only 500 gold because, you know, let's face it, while exotic, you do have a bit of a mouth on you. And that means whoever buys you is going to have to break you. So, meanwhile, while the bidding war begins over the exotic mouthy shit, Trouble, what are you doing? And we have not introduced you officially and described you yet on purpose.
Oh, they don't even know what I look like. I'm
Exactly.
just raising the crown.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
So, you've been watching this show go on. This farce.
So, I'm gonna scan the crowd a little bit, because she's getting a little skittish. There's a lot of people here, a lot more than what she's used to.
Right.
Does she recognize anybody from her past?
Not that you can see.
Okay.
I'm
I thought you
using
were
that.
gonna roll.
I'm using that previous perception.
Okay.
Or gather information just because, you know, you would
Yeah,
have
that
to
makes
glean the crowd and read the crowd long enough to be aware.
Yeah,
But-
I've been watching, and she, like I said, she's getting a little skittish right now because
Right.
there are a lot of people here, and
Oh yeah,
it's
there's
the
a
first
good
time
couple.
in years.
There's
she's been
easily
in.
100 people in the crowd right now.
Yeah.
So, from the poor who was sticking to the back and just watching the show, but those are very few because they had to sneak in from the slums, and good luck getting back there.
Right.
But for the most part,
It's not
it's
fair.
the wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
you know, this is a
She's just
pickpocket's
watching
wet
for now.
dream.
I mean, any disruption to this would probably.
And poorly.
Yeah. I don't see a way of getting the party out, even though she's sympathetic to them because, oh boy, she just does not like what they were doing to her, or the women specifically.
Mhm.
Connor, he's a white boy. He deserves it.
Well, they weren't. So, the thing is that they weren't really sexualizing him.
Right.
Yeah, it's
So,
true.
like, it's like they were sexualizing the women. And they were like, "Oh, look at this! Oh, she got some big old titties," and like, she don't like that
Right.
for reasons.
Yeah, I understand that.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely fair and makes complete sense. Because slavers are scum.
Yep.
And you should. The only thing worse than a slaver is a racist, or is it the other way around?
Ooh, hard to tell
They're the
sometimes.
same.
Column A, column B.
Could I look into the crowd for a moment?
You could. You could try.
Do I see a certain route?
Well, that'd be a perception check.
Okay.
Ooh.
Do I see my father in the crowd?
That'd be a perception check.
That would be a 17.
Yo, just for the heck of it, does Connor see anyone he recognizes?
Go ahead and do a perception check.
I got
Sure.
18 on mine.
You got 18?
Yeah.
Okay.
For
I don't think
Connor,
anybody
I
can beat
doubt.
my. Go on. I'm sorry. I was talking. Over you.
No, I'm just saying for Connor, I doubt he recognizes anybody.
I was going to say, a sweeping and no across the board.
Okay.
You don't have to fear. Nobody that you recognize is in the crowd.
Trust me, if I did anything, that it would just be like a total shit show, and I don't think for complete strangers that even though she sympathizes with them,
In a
It
city
would be
that's
weird.
got legal slavery, yeah, it makes sense that she wouldn't just intervene at every one of them. So, it makes sense. The downside of legal slavery, nobody can act against it. How to break a paladin? Have them in a city where slavery is legal.
You went robot on my end.
I said, how to break a paladin? Give him a city where slavery is legal and acceptable. Fuck the system, except when it's my system. So, the bidding ends with a sizable 1,500. Again, to that fat fucker with the bushy orange mustache.
I'm gonna look over to Shava just without saying anything.
I am not going to be mouthy, but I am going to smile.
oh,
At least we're not alone.
Because I'm realizing something. I never said it loud enough, and he hasn't told them that I'm a college graduate yet. All I ever need is for him to drop his guard long enough for me to find tools.
And the slaver gestures to the large, portly man, and he goes, "Come up, Lord Oliver, assuming you've got your gold. Come and claim your prizes." And as he walks over, drops the gold, the large sack of platinum pieces, into the hand of the bandit captain. He turns, licks his lips, looking both of you over.
I bow.
And as he opens his mouth, you hear a crack of thunder.
Ooh.
And he just kind of ends at the bridge of his nose and falls over.
With the top part of his head gone.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ!
What?
The top
Well,
of his
that
head,
was shocking.
Whoa.
and
That
you
was
hear
shocking.
you hear another, what would be best described as a small explosion, as a pillar of smoke rises from the middle of the crowd.
Mass
It's Tom this time.
Go ahead and, just for fun, all four of you roll another perception.
Yay, my worst roll of the day. Let's see what it comes up.
Yes, let's see.
Watch me get a 3 again, because that's all.
Bad for me.
Come on. This is.
Ow.
Ooh.
Whoa!
Come
There you
on.
go.
Arcane
You said perception, right?
power.
Yes, perception. Okay.
Nobody notices a thing except for Ellie.
Except for Allie.
What Allie sees is a hand above the crowd with a gleaming silver and gold rod that is got smoke billowing out the tip. The rod looks to be only about 6 inches long,
But again, it isn't the size.
but it's resting on the top of the hand, you can guess from the position, because you're seeing the hand's pinky, you know, so it's facing away from you. As the crowd seems to shove out of the way of the owner of this hand. And a figure in black walks up, parting the crowd. Walks over to the bandit chief and drives a short sword into his thigh and grabs the money.
You should grab the weapon too.
The figure just kind of turns. You can see all you can really make out are blood red irises that wink at you before hitting the captain in the temple with their sidearm and gestures for the three of you to follow.
See,
I lean over to Allie. So option 1 or option 2? Option 1 is dead. Looking at the what was left of the dead guy.
This saved us. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Better than whatever we were heading towards.
Yeah, Connor is like immediate follow. Is like, see, I told you everything would work out.
No, I can't leave without my rapier.
I would like my things as well.
The figure just kind of turns, shrugs, and starts walking away.
I just go and grab the is the captain unconscious right now? Or dead or whatever?
He's on his knees.
Oh,
He just
if
took a
he's
hit
not
to the
out,
head.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, if he's not out, I'm not gonna try and wrestle with him to grab the keys.
We'll have a chance to get our stuff later, and Connor's gonna follow because he can't do anything right now.
The captain had a gun, right?
Yes, a double barrel pistol.
Is it still on him?
Yes, but he is very much conscious. He's just
Okay, I
holding a
won't try and go for it right now.
He's just got a bloody temple where he was clocked or pistol whipped.
All right, we'll just follow this person for now.
Mm-hmm.
That'll work best. Because without my magic, I mean, I'm proficient with a gun, but I don't have proficiency with grappling with him to get the gun from him.
Yeah, and I don't want to say useless without my magic, but pretty
You're
close.
useless without magic, right?
Pretty close to it.
I was thinking I could try to kick him in the nuts, but it's too dire right now. Let's just go.
You don't want to say that you're useless, but you're like a stripper with no booty.
I wouldn't put it that way, but okay.
Sorry, I was referencing a song I like.
Okay.
It's called I Suck at Call of Duty.
But yeah, I'm running up to the guy who just rescued us, getting up to beside him.
Okay.
Yep, I'm following behind. Same confident gait of see everything worked out just like I thought it would.
This
So
person
you said he had a
is...
sidearm.
Yeah. This person is in complete black. They are wearing a mask and everything. Except the only thing that you would be able to make out is the small area around their eyes.
I like him.
And you could tell that they have kind of a dark bluish purple kind of skin.
Oh, he's a drow.
Is that out loud or is that just
Uh-oh.
out of character?
If she, well, actually, I should roll perception to see if she actually noticed that or not, because she's more interested in looking for that sidearm than at his skin. So let me roll a quick perception for that to see if she notices. Okay, she actually noticed, I guess. 22.
Yeah.
So she probably would have been dumb enough to say, "You're either a drow or a tiefling," and I don't see a tail.
The figure doesn't say a word. Allie, how do you react to hearing the word drow?
No! And immediately start moving away from the person.
Well, he's broody, so he might be a tiefling.
And you're trying to see
I
the
like-
sidearm, but it is tucked into a kind of a... The best way you could figure is that their tunic has a special pocket for it, like an inside pocket of it on a jacket or something.
Haha, I saw that post on Reddit earlier.
Which post?
I know what you're referencing.
What are you talking about?
The guy who made the crossbow.
Oh, yeah, the hand crossbow. That was in my email. That was pretty cool. But no, that's not at all related to what I was thinking. Or what I'm talking about. But
So, how are the guards reacting to all this while we're walking with him?
they're getting the fuck out of your way.
I think we met who upset the town and said no to slavery.
So, Trouble, you see this figure and the guards are getting the fuck out of the way of the group. Are you gonna stay in the crowd or are you gonna... What are you doing?
So, when they leave, I'm gonna follow.
How far away?
Far enough so that, like, she thinks she's hidden well enough, but close enough so that she knows which way they're going. Because this is interesting. She's never seen this person before.
Okay. Anyone gonna try talking or just kind of staying quiet and going, yep, I'm not going to... Nope.
Shava is never quiet. So, she will introduce herself. I'm Shava Xyloshian. Nice to meet you. And yes, it's an elven name. I know.
So, what was Allie doing? Is she actually leaving?
I think
I'm
she's
like-
backing away to give some space between her and the drow.
Yeah.
If I'm not misunderstanding your intentions.
Who are you? I call out to the drow. I'm like, my voice quivers as I say it.
Oh, shit. I accidentally, because I rebooted my computer, I lost the page. Just give me a sec.
I've done that before.
Yeah. I had just the tabs open for this, but
Sorry.
that's okay.
I'm dying.
Makar Trill.
You're working with him, aren't you?
Who? And you notice when this figure spoke for the first time that it's not a man.
I'm sorry, can you spell that, by the way?
Micar. And then the surname is Tril. If you speak Undercommon, I could tell you what it translates to.
Let me check.
Gotta find my languages again.
I
do
nope,
not.
Nope. Dang. I thought about it, but I didn't.
The
I'm
one
smart,
language.
But I still only have 3 languages.
Yeah, I think I went for Dwarvish instead of Undercommon.
And I went with Elven because of my heritage.
Elvin! Okay. Allie? Is Undercommon among yours, or are you completely out of the loop too?
Thanks. Check. Nope, do not know Undercommon.
Oh, good. That makes this even more fun.
Yeah. So Connor will be like, "It is a pleasure to meet you. I'm Connor Veritas."
A boo.
So, should we probably be running out of town, or are you just certain that the guards won't mess with you?
Who do you think owns them?
Ah. Wow, a lot's changed in 6 months.
And Makar doesn't say anything about it. Generally, she just goes quiet as you guys travel to the large let's say, try to figure out which one would have been. Okay, so let's say. All right. Okay, so let's say like this one was the slaver building. You guys are approaching this building over here, which is in the picture it looks like a castle, but realistically it's just a large manor. And as you approach, guard at the door opens up as Makar leans in and whispers something into the guard's ear. And you four, Makar and the three of you slaves enter. Trouble. When you get caught up, you notice that the guard is still holding the door open.
Oh yeah, absolutely. At that point, she's like, "Nope, I'm done. That was interesting, but I'm going back home."
The
More
guard...
realistically, she's probably gonna go see the what happened.
Your instinct is
End
going,
of the-
"Oh, hell no!" But then the other side's like, "But how'd they see me?"
Oh no, like did they actually notice her? Like, did anybody actually notice her following behind?
An 18 on die with a plus 10 modifier.
8.
So it'd be a 28 to perceive you. Yeah, they knew you were there.
Okay, yeah. Like if she saw them go into the house, because she wasn't standing anywhere close to, like, hearing distance. She was like trailing behind, like, what the hell just happened?
You're
Like, that's
tracking
weird.
them.
I've never seen this person before.
Somebody just came in
Should
and
we go-
blew away one of the rich people in the city. Who the fuck is this?
Right. She's just gonna sort of like back away and then, like, I guess disappear into the shadows and go see if there's go see the aftermath, because that shit probably gonna be funny.
Okay. Yep. So, Makar leads you 3 to a side room and gestures to one doorway and then the other, indicating for the girls to go one way and for Connor to go into the other before turning and walking away.
Connor will not even hesitate. He'll be like, "That door? All right." Vroom.
What you see is a small washroom with a change of clothing just kind of laid out.
Oh, perfect.
And the same is in the other side. But it's 2 sets of clothing laid out. Just general travel clothes. But given the indignities that you've just experienced, it may as well be fine silk.
Yes, I'll go put it on.
Yep.
You have a chance to wash up and everything.
Yeah.
About an hour passes before a servant comes to get you. And leads you through the hallways into a large, I guess the best way to describe it is almost a almost a main hall, I guess would be the best way to describe it. I'm trying to find the words and I'm just kind of derping out. And
Foyer?
yeah, foyer. And you see the bandit chief. And you see Makar kind of standing off to the side as you approach. And
Did we get the shackles off or no? Has that not happened yet?
I completely blanked. Yeah, Makar would have removed your shackles when you got into the building.
Okay, good.
Kind
I
of,
was wondering, how...
I vagued out for a moment, forgetting about them entirely.
Yeah,
Like
I was like, how are we gonna get dressed if we have these shackle things on?
Very carefully.
Alrighty then. So, yeah, I will. Alright, cool.
We get to get bathed and cleaned up and dressed. Yay!
I just, after taking the shackles off and while I'm getting dressed, I just test prestidigitation, make sure it works with sparks.
Yeah. So, you are clothed. You haven't been fed yet, but...
And seeing as I can use my Legacy of Minoris abilities without tools, because they aren't spells, just abilities, I'm using Mage Hand to clothe myself lazily, so that I don't have to reach to put clothing on. That spell is so useful for buttons on the back and stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah, but once... So, Allie, are you doing anything fancy with getting dressed, or just doing it kind of quick?
If there's anything like a hair tie, I at least like to throw my hair back.
Oddly enough, they never removed your hairpin.
They never... Really?
You never thought of it, so...
Oh my god, we're gonna use that to pick the lock and get out!
I mean, I assumed that they stripped us of all weapons, that they would have taken that out of my hair. I literally just assumed that.
Oh.
I know, why do you think I didn't say anything about it this whole time?
It's always ask about tiny things that seem insignificant, like when I asked about my eye patch and stuff.
Yeah, that was kind of the clue. That's why I'm going, okay, she'll think of it. No.
I assumed that they had taken it out.
So is there a moment of realization where she just goes to touch her hair and then goes, son of a bitch?
Yes. I literally take it out and stab the air with it. At which point, I don't know, I guess maybe some people might notice it's like sharpened.
Well, the only one that is there to notice would be Shava. Because this would be while you guys are getting dressed.
Oh.
So, you see your traveling companion stabbing a shadow.
Shava just asked, so, did you have that the whole time?
I don't know, I was kind of traumatized. Excuse me for not being able to think of it.
Yeah, that's alright. I should have thought to look too, otherwise how would your hair have held up?
God damn it! God damn it all! And now we've been captured by this drow bitch that we don't know.
Well, I mean, she did only invite us in. We're probably free to leave, for all we know.
She's probably working for him.
And while you guys are discussing, that's when the servant opens the door. Please, come this way. The mistress would like to meet you.
Yay!
And then he would get Connor with the same statement.
Fantastic!
And that's when you guys enter the foyer, and you do see, your friend Makar, friend in bunny ears, standing off to the side at the foot of the stairs where the bandit chief is facing, and a figure's kind of standing facing large window that looks out on the city. And you really because you're too far away, you really can't see, but you can hear clearly because it's echoing in the quiet hall, that the guy's kind of sounding really, really pathetic. You know, making excuse after excuse after excuse.
Yeah.
And
Connor's fingers just twitch a little bit.
you then hear, "Enough! I'm the boss. I'm in charge. Queen, if you're feeling dramatic, it doesn't matter. Pathandaway has no titled ruler and only one rule. Bang! Don't fuck with me." The voice is familiar to one of you.
Which one?
Allie, roll perception.
Sure.
Oh.
No, I have no idea who it is.
That makes it fun. The servant gestures to you to enter as another two walk up and start dragging the body away. What do you do?
Connor looked slightly disappointed that he didn't get to do it himself.
Is she gesturing for all of us to approach, or just Allie?
The servant is gesturing for you three to enter. It's just kind of gesturing to the open door.
I will do so.
I enter.
I'll enter, but I'll reflexively touch my hairpin just in case.
And a figure turns around fully away from the window, having just kind of side aimed and fired without even looking at the guy. As you approach, you see that the shot went right between the person's eyes. That the guy was taken out with a single bullet to the brain. And the revolver is slipped into the wielder's holster on their hip. And they turn and start walking towards you. And you can see that this figure is a slender female who is clad largely in black, but does have some red piping on their clothing and a red vest that matches unnaturally red hair.
Ooh.
And she looks over the three of you and then comes down and gives Allie a hug and goes, "I was wondering what the fuck happened. Who
I
are
like
your
him.
friends?"
I immediately run into her arms and start crying happy tears.
As a player, I think I know who this is. As a character, I don't.
I have no idea, but Connor is just smiling like, "Oh, reunion."
Did I say hug? I meant glomp. Like,
The Mikar pulls her mask off, revealing light bluish purple skin and bright blue hair and, like I said, pure blood red eyes. And just goes, "Well, that's the last one, I think." And turns and walks out of the room. And the boss just kind of looks at the two of you strangers and goes, "All right, who the fuck are you two? And what are you doing in my city?"
Never ask for an introduction when he's in the room.
Hello,
Right when he goes
I
into it.
am Connor Veritas, Master of the Arcane. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Not the first one I met like him. You should meet my other guests sometime. Hopefully he's caught up with his damn chicken.
She calmly face palms and just says, "God, that means there's even more of them."
And who are you?
I am Shava Zilosient. Zilosient. Eventually I'll be able to pronounce that. I'm actually from here.
Oh?
Yes, my adoptive father owns a shop in town.
Ah.
I also belong to the college here.
Which one?
The Artificers Guild.
Oh! Good.
Specifically the one focusing in weaponry.
Oh, well then, probably the group who worked on these, and she just pats the 2 revolvers on her hip as soon as she can pry her arms from perpetual squeezing.
Most likely. I tend to focus more on magical cannon technology, but yeah, I think my guild worked on those.
And giving Allie one little squeeze extra, she tries to pry herself out.
So, how do you two know each other?
Friend.
You hear behind you and high on the wall. Oh, that's Mommy's little bitch. I mean, hi!
Huh?
And if you turn and look, you see a tiny, tiny little red dragon hatchling laying on the door case.
Oh my god, it's adorable.
No, it's horrible.
No,
my
I guess
God.
trouble had gone in.
Is this Callie from the dimension where she found where from
It's
our
all the same
dimension
dimension,
where she
dude! I figured out how to
God.
weave it in story-wise.
I had a feeling. I wasn't entirely sure, but I had a feeling.
No,
Oh, let's be fair
don't
here.
Don't interact with the dragon. It's not worth it.
Oh my god, I wish trouble had gone in. Like, that's one of the things on her to-do list.
Allie,
See a dragon.
more booze.
Where is it?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Where is it? I make a face.
I thought you said you didn't know anything about that. Oh, I didn't. She drank it all by herself. Anyway, you were asking them about what's going on? And Callie then introduces herself as Callistes Sestaleus, and those who speak Elven know it as Quick Fingers.
That's me.
Yay! I know that language.
Me too.
And she goes and sits down in her chair and just kind of leans forward and goes, "So, why were you being sold again?"
Because we got caught.
Okay.
It's a long story. Do you know what happened to my rapier, Callie?
You lost it again?
They took it from me.
Shemek will get it with everything else. She's cleaning out that building. We've been waiting for the leadership to get back.
Oh, fantastic. I would love to get my belongings back.
Assuming they still have it all. You know.
Like, Connor's face almost drops, but then it picks back up again. I'm sure everything will be fine.
If anything, most of it could probably be replaced. Anyway.
Maybe.
Anyway,
Thankfully, almost everything of mine can.
how did you get caught? Tell me what was going on. You left here 6 months ago after you killed that guard. And I've been cleaning up the mess since.
They didn't know that.
Oh, too late now. Now fill me in.
It was in self-defense, okay? I say turning to the other two.
Right.
Connor just nods like, of course it was.
Well, we ran into her while she was surrounded by bandits.
And then, because they were deciding to pick on your friend here, I turned them all to ash, except for the one that got away.
You
Who,
missed.
of course, brought the rest back when we were at a village resting.
Mm.
Next time, kill the leader first.
And to jump scenes real briefly, Trouble, what you see when you get back to the square is that figure that had led them off walking forward again, this time with another weapon in hand. It looks like a longer version of what they had fired into the air. Kind of like a cross, almost like a much longer version of what the bandit captain had, the two-barreled firearm.
I'll be right back.
And you see her just walk into the building that the wagons had gone into and that the auction was on the back of. And then you just hear a series of explosions.
Oh shit.
Gunfire. As she just casually walks in.
It just destroys.
Alright, what are you doing?
She's like, Trouble's like, I really should get out of here, but this is so interesting to watch. You have no idea. None of this happens here. So she's probably just watching with like,
Watching the building from the outside.
yeah.
After, I don't know, about 10 minutes, there is absolute quiet as the figure comes and walks back out. And a group of guards rush into the building behind her.
Exciting.
And after a few minutes, one of the wagons is wheeled out, being pulled by a horse. And inside it is a bunch of sacks and what looks like a mechanical body, as they are making their way to the large building that she had went to before.
Okay, so shit's going down in that building, and she wants to know, but she also is too chicken shit to actually break in right now. So,
What's the
What's
worst
your
that'll
plan?
happen?
huh?
What's the worst that'll happen?
She gets caught, I guess, and then gets killed, and then probably gets sold into slavery because she's a street urchin.
I don't know, they just kind of systematically blew apart the slavers.
Valid point, but that's what's on her mind. Yeah, fuck it, why not? Does anybody notice?
I don't know, you'd have to do it stealthy. Because you're going to sneak behind.
Is there any way for me to get underneath the carriage that's being drawn?
Well,
By
first would be stealth. Dexterity stealth.
Dex and then stealth?
But yeah, 'cause-
help. Where is the score?
yeah, just a normal stealth check. You know, dexterity stealth is the normal stealth check. It's just sometimes that you can change stats.
That's an 11.
So-
That was not supposed to be a 9. That's an 11.
Okay. All right, so you think you're hiding. Well, go
Yeah.
ahead and try an athletics to see if you can hang under it for the trip. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can hang in there just fine. Yeah, this is easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. From what you see, you're infiltrating it perfectly.
Oh, absolutely. She's doing stealthy things.
Suddenly, Mission Impossible music played.
Yeah.
I would do that, but I don't want to get copyright strike. All right, so we got a sneaky.
Man, the one roll that I wanted to make right then, I got a 3 on. That sucks.
Hey, as far as you know, you successfully snuck in.
Right. Oh, absolutely. It was just out of character. I'm like, oh, that hurts.
Trust me, I understand. 2 or 3 die rolls in a row on Wednesday were like 2s, and I kind of gave up after that. It was like, yep. After the week before, getting nothing above 5, and then that, it was like, yeah, I've just about had
Absolutely
enough
not.
fun.
Let's just skip this entire day.
Yeah, pretty much. Thankfully, in a group where there's one, there's a bard who kind of takes the lead on anything social. It was like, we had the chance. Like, anyone else want to do it? And I'm just going, at this point, no. Both in character, because the character is just like, fuck this, trying to talk over a bard, and then me as the player is going, fuck this dice roller is being a dick for the last 2 weeks. I'm not even going to tempt fate. Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awful. Oh well. All right, so I'm hanging on to the under. I think I made it on there safely or quietly and stealthily.
No shit. Downside of new headset, I accidentally unplugged the cord from itself.
Dude,
There we go.
like my friends want to play games with me, but I can't because I knew this was coming up, and I accidentally broke my headset charger.
Oh no.
So I'm like, I wish I could, but I'm doing this thing on Friday, so it's probably gonna eat up 8 hours, and that's gonna be gone with my hearing. It sucks. So I ordered ones coming in. They hope so.
All right. So you think that you infiltrated perfectly. Back to the shenanigans in the room. Okay.
Shenanigans!
Pudding. Okay. So I'm assuming you guys would in turn recant your individual stories on how you got there, and then what do you explain happened at the village after you discussed encountering the bandits? Do you mention anything more, or?
I explain about the zombies because those are my interesting point.
Yep. I walked into a tavern and managed to fend off multiple zombies. And then one of them bit me.
He appears to be infected with a very aggressive virus that turns the host into a zombie.
As you're talking, she just draws one of the pistols from her hip and cocks the hammer, and just kind of just sits there watching.
No, don't.
Oh, and then the zombies can bite other people and infect them, and they become zombies.
But I'm a master of the arcane, so I'm sure I'll be fine.
And they left a cart full of those villagers that were infected and had turned. In the middle of the desert, there's nothing out there that can eat them, is there? That'll in turn become a zombie too.
Don't know. Sandworms, sand dragons.
Sand shark.
Oh no, I don't think there's any sand dragons in the area anymore because they would have attacked us with my kid here.
Did you hear anything about a missing copper dragon?
No, but that's interesting. Why?
Oh, there was a mad scientist that was experimenting with one. Turned it into a mutated creature, some sort of very aggressive creature,
Hey,
and made it attack us.
Yes, we found a secret laboratory under a church that was run by some sort of crazy gnome with many strange screens of some sort.
the dragon went berserk and started killing innocent captives, and I ended up having to put it out of its misery.
We did, like, trying to, like, not like take the glory, but like, you not the only one that killed the dragon. We killed the dragon.
No, this is on
Not
us.
all your fault.
Okay.
Oh, there's no glory in it. I feel like an asshole. Well, that's putting it lightly.
Alright. So, for fun, Mike, can you do me a favor and roll a d20?
Sure, 1 sec. Let me just look at what spells I can cast without my arcane focus before I do that.
None!
I want to check. I want to check to see if I can do a specific one without material components. I'm good. Okay.
No, dog, you are not getting Reese's. Get back.
Just straight D20?
Yes, just straight d20.
6.
Okay. And as you guys are discussing the, so you guys are discussing the mad scientist, and is that all you're going on, is, or just telling her about the dragon?
I mentioned that there was a brain in the jar that just killed my owl. And, like, bunch of different random experiments, and I'd mention what was the weird dragon demon thing called? Because Connor knew exactly what it was.
Yeah, I don't.
I've got it written down somewhere, I think. I'd have to open my notes, but I could also just find it easily. Devils. I know it wasn't in the DMG. Give me a second. I have to actually remember. I have it in my notes. I just didn't open the file because I didn't need it.
Always open the file.
Apologies for the delay. Okay. It was... Displays repeats. Abache.
Abashi, right. One of those.
The fuck are you talking about?
It's some sort of, devil dragon creature. It spoke kind of like this, and he will switch between draconic and infernal and just say, kind of like this, switching between the two.
I only understood half of that. And
That's the weird part. It spoke 2 languages.
okay. And she kind of looks at Allie like, tell
Where
me
the
he's
fuck did you find
bullshitting.
these people?
I know it sounds weird, but I could understand half of what the creature said because I speak Infernal.
Oh,
It's just,
oh, go ahead.
that's right. That's pretty much where she was ending. It was. Oh, Noah, you all right?
Oh no.
Okay.
What did Callie say to Allie again? I didn't catch that.
She just kind of gave you a look of, he bullshitting me about the Abache?
That's true. I helped fight it. It was a demon dragon thing. I didn't know what it was called, but it was really scary looking.
Okay. Mike, go ahead and give me another d20, and Trouble, go ahead and do a perception check.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's like the exact opposite of what I rolled last time.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's funny.
Nice. Okay, so this is gonna be a fun moment.
I'm being attacked by my chair. Help.
Oh no.
Okay, so what
Are we
you
standing during all of this, or are we sitting in a sitting room?
you guys are standing.
Okay, I'm using Tensor's floating disc and sitting.
But
Oh my god.
while you guys are discussing, a quick scene change, bouncing between two scenes.
Whoopsies. I should have gone in the first time.
Trouble. You look to your left, and you are staring in the face of this weird ass bird. It looks like a bizarre breed of cockatrice that is extra fluffy. Or no, not cockatrice. It was a raptor, wasn't it? A big pink puff raptor. That's feathery, and it just looks at you. Hisses and scampers out of the room.
What?
What?
Is like, did she make it into the building? Like,
Yes, you're
Okay.
in what would be best described as a garage, but
What happens is a comedy of errors. She sees that thing looking at her, and she looks at it, and then falls down because she gets startled from it, and then it scampers away, and she's like, "What?"
are you having a stroke there?
Is that?
And
So she's now laying on her back, like, "What just happened?"
And in the background, Trouble, you hear Fiona.
Oh my god!
AFK a sec, I gotta walk the dogs real quick.
And then the voice is gone.
I'm literally crying a little bit. Oh my god. I hate you and love you so much.
I have no idea what's happening.
That's the whole idea.
She's been caught.
That's what's making this a fun part. Okay, so Chava is now sitting.
I'm quite literally the only person who knows about this. Oh, one sec. I'm gonna mute myself. I'm crying right now.
I did warn you guys that you might encounter familiar faces, and it'll be funny as hell.
I know. I didn't. Okay. I think I'm good. Oh god, that was really surprising. Oh, but it made me so happy.
Okay. So, back in the throne room, for want of a better word, the foyer, meeting room, throne room, that kind of thing. Yes, all of the above. No to none of all of it. Oh. So, around the time that you guys are done telling your story, Mikar shows up again. Or, as she's revealed, or as referenced by Gally, her name is Shimmick. And for above table knowledge, and so it's not really a surprise. It's Kelly's half sister.
Oh.
Ooh, surprise. Sorry.
Half elf and half drow. Weird ass siblings.
Yeah, that was rude.
And she just kind of throws her thumb over her shoulder and goes, "Their shit's in the back."
Do you get Siren?
And she just kind of looks at you and tosses you a rapier and a scabbard. I know you won't stop talking until you get this.
Oh.
And she just kind of turns on her heel and walks out.
Is it Siren?
Yes.
I hug Siren. Thank you, Shiva. Thank you.
She's a bitch. But hey, she's getting paid.
My mouth is hurting from smiling too much.
Around this time, you again hear Fiona. This time it's the whole group that can hear it as door opens. And for context, go ahead and describe and take over.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking about me. I was like, what?
Okay, give me a moment. I have to remember things. It's been a while since I've thought about him.
It's been a couple years, about a year or two since the shenanigans in Cholt.
Okay. Oh my god, sorry, I still need a minute. Okay. Oh wow. I want to give you a hug right now, Zach.
Save it. Nope. Don't do hugs.
Okay. So, actually, I think I have his old character sheet right here. Okay, so what you see, is my mind is blanking so hard. Oh my god. All right. Is a rather tall half elf with kind of messy blonde hair, kind of bluish, it'd be blue eyes right now. Currently barefoot. Very kind of slender, not as slender as Connor, but kind of slender, wearing just kind of, how would you put it, cosplaying as the
That's
Woods
how Logan.
Cat.
That's how Logan put it. How would you
I
describe
know. I just had to do a callback to that.
it? Yes, I understand.
Wearing kind of, oh my god, it's been so long. Wearing kind of green colored clothing. He probably wouldn't have his staff on him. And yeah. He probably wouldn't have his shield on him currently either.
Yeah, probably not, because why would you be armed to the teeth in a house?
Yeah, exactly. He'd have his ring on. He appears to have a very nice looking ring on his finger, but that's probably the only piece of jewelry he has on him, except for a well, I'm trying to remember what his focus was. I think it was, oh right, it was actually a wristband made out of kind of a silver colored wood with what appears to be a piece of amber lodged in the center. And if you take a really close look at that amber, you'll see there's a tiny flower in the amber.
Well, they could. The three characters could do a perception check to see if they notice the amber.
Yeah.
I'd say 10, you notice the bracelet. 15 or higher, you notice the amber.
Oh.
And if you somehow hit over 20, then yeah, you will think you see the flower.
The silence is deafening.
I know. It's not showing any rolls yet, so I'm going, wait, what?
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Oh, right. Oh, you missed all that, huh?
Caught some of it because I unplugged my headphone and put this on speaker, but I had to walk all 4 of the dogs.
Fine. Okay, so go ahead and do your perceptions if you're in that room.
I'll have Connor roll. Why not?
I still don't see shit.
Oh, nice. Dirty 20.
Okay.
Either I roll like shit.
Oh,
so-
really well.
Very nice.
Okay, so
Of course
Shava
Connor
doesn't even
noticed
notice. Shava doesn't even notice the bracelet. Allie does see the amber, and Connor sees something in the amber. Okay, it fits that
Okay.
Shava doesn't catch it because you weren't here for the whole thing, so it works.
I have drawn over
I heard-
shiny.
I heard that there was a piece of amber with a flower in it.
Yeah.
Because again, I had my speaker active.
I know, I was just giving shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
I swear to God, I don't mean this as a metaphor, but I am going to send these dogs to live at the farm. I don't mean that as the metaphor. I actually own a farm. For them.
Yeah, they'd probably be happier in a large house with the property to run.
Yeah, mostly the large property because it's going to be we're going to fence in a good portion of it for them to run, especially the pit bull.
So, he comes in, he sees all of you, and around that time, you make out behind him a pink floof. Best way to describe it in passing. And this guy, this weird ass guy in greens, turns and chases it down, calling Fiona.
Fiona, come back. Oh.
Kayla just kind of shakes her head. And kind of just looks at the rest of you and goes, alright, so Copper Dragon in the area. Mad scientist, as you put it. A cart of weird-ass zombies outside my city.
That are highly infectious.
And you brought the infection into my city.
No, the bandits did.
Where were you bit?
He will gesture to the bite.
Up in your upper arm?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you cut the arm off?
Because I wanted to see how fast the infection spread.
And we didn't notice it till we were in a cage.
How do you not know?
He didn't tell us that he got bit, and yeah. It probably wouldn't help to mention that I got bit too.
I can't remember if I got bit.
I think you didn't get bit.
Oh,
I think
I
you
got bit, but
I was gonna say I think the only one that didn't get bit was Allie. But the only one who didn't succeed their saves or were outright immune What's the port, Yeti Batty Wizard? Oh, great. And you just... Alright, so is there any cure? Or do I get to shoot him?
That's actually kind of why I was hoping that my guild would have been there at the slave trade to get me out of it anyways. I believe they might be able to figure out a cure for it. I mean, this was created with science, not magic, that I can tell. Or at the very least, definitely not divine magic. Definitely arcane. Mixed with technology, I think.
What?
Which, coincidentally, is what artificers are good at.
I'm sure I'll be fine.
I doubt it. You're not fine as is.
Huh?
Alright, so... Here's what you'll do. You stay here tonight. And in the morning you can go talk to your guild. She gestures her gun at you, Connor. You're staying under lock and key.
Can I at least have my belongings?
You're not a prisoner. It's keeping you for everyone's protection.
I
yes.
know, I just wanted to make sure. It's been a day.
Oh, speaking of belongings, I have a couple of pictures of the laboratory if mine were recovered.
Well, your stuff is in one of the side chambers. The help can show you where it is.
Great. Hopefully none of it exploded.
Meanwhile, trouble. You've been exposed by a chicken.
Chicken raptor.
So she's like crawling out from underneath the thing now, like, well, I knew that wasn't supposed to last for very long, but I'm in here now. So she's like next to the body of 5, right?
Yes.
She's gonna look at it and then be like, "What is this?" And she's gonna like poke at it.
The fuck is this?
Yeah, because like she's never seen anything like that before. So
Poke, self-destruct sequence initiated.
Oops. Okay. So you're poking a mechanical corpse.
yep. You know, as you do.
Okay.
You
How
gotta
long
poke
are
at
you
it
gonna
with
awkwardly
the-
touch a dead body?
gotta poke at it with a big stick. You know, I gotta poke a dead body if you've ever seen one.
Okay. And how long would you be playing with the dead body? And what would you do afterward?
After like she figures out that it's not moving, obviously.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere. He's been
I mean,
more
it's-
lively.
It'll be fine. Anyway, is there anything like? Did they like leave the belongings there, like the stuff that they got out of that one place?
They dumped it all in the wagon. They threw the bags in the wagon. So like all the players' satchels and backpacks and everything is in the wagon. As well
yeah,
as a bunch of the
she's-
bandit shit too.
The closest one inside of the wagon, she's going to open it up and see what's inside it.
You see a large book.
A large book.
Thank God it's not mine.
Oh no.
Kind
Is it my
You're not
book?
there. You're not there. You don't know. If
I
you're
know,
not there.
but I can describe what the cover looks like.
Oh, go ahead and describe the cover then.
Okay, it kind of looks. Actually, there's a picture. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know where it went. Crap. because it's really hard to describe. Sorry.
Well, either way, luckily for you, she really doesn't have any interest in books, so she's gonna take it up, look at it, and then just drop it on the floor,
All right.
and then continue rummaging through the.
Wait, you drop it on the floor? No, okay.
Well, in the wagon, so.
Okay. I will
She's just
post
rummaging
it.
right now.
I will post it in chat whenever I find it.
Okay. She's rummaging through the couple of bags, seeing what's inside of there.
Okay. Well, go ahead and describe what's in your bag. Because,
Me?
yeah, Connor, because...
Okay. You find another book that appears to be extremely worn, like it's been read hundreds of times, to the point that the cover is almost illegible.
She drops that too on the on top of the first book, which tumbles down and probably bends a couple of pages.
Uh-oh. You should not have done that. You find what else is in there? Would they have thrown my clothing in there or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
you find
yeah.
what it.
Your clothes is
Yeah.
are just kind of in a pile in the middle of the wagon.
Yeah. So you see very nice, fancy clothing that appears to be very red. In the backpack, you see there's a bottle of ink that appears to have a stopper in it, an ink pen, a bunch of parchment, what appears to be a bag of sand, and a small knife. And there appears to be a what appears to be a kit full of different types of pencils and parchment and things. Calligrapher's kit. And you find what appears to be a kit that has possibly what is essentially a disguise kit, whatever is in a disguise kit.
Makeup and putties,
Mm-hmm.
stuff to make a wig.
Probably there's some hair dye in there.
So with the ink, she knows ink is expensive. Most people don't go around carrying ink in her line of work, so she gingerly puts it on top of the first book. Next to the books, I guess, so it doesn't spill. And she's looking through the pages, and there's nothing on them, correct?
On the papers that are in there? I don't believe so, no.
Okay, so she's like rummaging through and flipping through the pages and doing this and that, and she's like, why would you carry around papers? This is weird.
And my arcane focus be in there?
It was on your staff. I thought it was part of your staff.
Right. Yeah. That's correct. And if my coin pouch is with it, there'd be 10 gold.
There is no coin pouch.
Okay, just wanted to check.
And so she goes and she sees the very fancy clothes, and she sort of like stands up with them and like stretches out and like she does the ooh, these are fancy. I wonder what it'd look like on me. And she's looking down. She's just rummaging and like, because she thinks she got away with this. She doesn't know how to get out yet, but she thinks she totally got away with this. Now, mind you, she's probably not going to steal any of your stuff. She's just looking through it because stealing isn't really her game. She's more like, she just doesn't like to steal. She's just looking through the stuff to see what's there.
If you take it, it's because you need it, not because you want it.
Exactly. And she's, she picks up your staff and she like waves it around a little bit. Nothing probably happens, but she waves it around a little bit and like does a little action pose, and
In the wagon or outside the wagon?
Probably, in the wagon. Yeah, probably.
Okay, give me a dexterity check.
And I don't think there was anything else. in my
Dexterity
bag.
check.
Yep. Not a save, so you just your modifier in D20.
Ooh. She definitely falls over at that.
No, you don't fall over. Wang!
If you break my staff, I will.
Well, she's not like.
Yes,
So,
smack.
To
Yes.
put it into perspective, what she does is she's standing there and she finds the staff and she pulls it out. She's looking at it, and then she gets up and then puts her hand on her hip, her left hand on her hip, and then holds the staff up high and then starts going in a circle with it.
Yep. And as you do that, you smack one of the bars,
Whoops.
letting a loud clang echo through the hall.
Oh.
Meanwhile, in the foyer, you think you hear a loud clang.
When that happens, she freezes like a deer in headlights and just sort of looks at the door like, oh shit.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
We all hear this.
Yes. Well, I guess go ahead and do perceptions to see how clearly you hear it. You guys could hear it, but let's see if you can actually make out where it's coming from.
Oh wow.
I think Allie's like, noise.
What do your elf ears hear?
My ears twitch.
Yeah, so Connor, you think you hear a noise.
21.
But the other two, yeah, you could quite clearly hear where it came from.
I get up and
I'm heading towards it.
You get up
I
and
call
what?
it, who's there?
Oh, okay,
Uh,
you muted out for a second.
So you guys are coming towards her, or the room?
Yeah, I'll follow my friends because it was like, huh, I thought I heard a noise. Oh, they're reacting. Let's go!
Okay. So the four.
Guaranteed, you would probably hear a loud clanging of the staff hitting the floor, because she would totally 100% drop it, and then jump off the thing away from the door and try and hide behind the wagon.
Okay, go ahead and do a stealth.
You said it was an 8, wasn't it? My mind is like a fucking goldfish, man.
Well, you're doing an okay. Nice.
I swear, if it's not in front of me, I just forget it almost immediately. It's just numbers.
All right. So, you guys enter the room.
Can we kick the door down?
The door's open.
I kick the door open even further.
Okay. Sword drawn, banner waving, or just holding the handle.
My sword is drawn and at the ready.
Okay, so trouble. You see the slave armed.
Oh boy.
I just imagine Connor's behind her, just hand out forward, like,
At this
And-
point, she sees these people and her mind is going a million miles a second. She thinks all she wanted to do was like get a good look in this house. And then all of a sudden, this weird slave that was a slave now has a sword is coming into the door. Oh god, what do I do? I don't know what to do. And she's just like, her hands are starting to shake.
Okay. So, Shafa, what are you doing?
I enter the room and look around to see if I can see where the noise came from.
Okay. Go ahead and do a perception if you are in here trying to look around.
I'll do a perception, but more for, do I notice my stuff's been gone through?
Okay.
19.
Nice.
Oh. That makes me sad.
Poor Connor.
Your entire result is my bonus to
Allie, were
perception.
you doing a check? Are you looking around too?
Yeah, I'm looking around too. Hang on.
Right now, Connor's most prized possession is currently being bent slightly from
Okay.
being...
So, Connor, you don't see shit. It's kind of dark in the room.
Why is everywhere dark?
You can't see in the dark? Sucks being human. Sucks more being an elf. And Shava, you can see that some stuff has been rummaged through, and you can see the staff rolling ever so slightly on the floor until it, like kind of rocking back and forth where it landed. Allie, you see that, but you can also see a figure cowering in behind the cart. You see their knee sticking out ever so slightly beside the wheel.
I hold my rapier out right in front of me and slowly approach. Going, come out with your hands up.
I use Mage Hand and pull the staff on the ground to me.
Okay,
She
so
doesn't move.
yeah, I was gonna say, so Trouble, you just see a spectral green hand appear and grab the staff.
See, the spectral greenness she can handle. Magic she can handle. But, like, there's a former slave coming at her with a giant sword. Not even a giant sword, it's just a rapier. She thinks it's a giant sword.
It looks pretty
She's
big when
not
it's
moving.
pointed at you.
Yeah. She's just definitely not moving. And she's just like, unfortunately, this is the first situation where she couldn't get out of. And she's just,
She's
Shutting
in
down.
trouble.
she's in trouble. Definitely in trouble. And she's basically shutting down. She doesn't know how to handle herself.
She's going into shock. Stress-induced shock. Aw.
Who are you and why are you in the house?
At this point, she just starts bawling. Unfortunate, but she just starts bawling.
How
Does
old
someone
does she
hear someone crying?
I have a
look?
feeling that you make women cry all the time
Oh,
With joy!
when you leave.
Some of the time.
Serious question. How old does she appear? Does this person appear to be?
I was gonna say, for those who have dark vision, you might want to describe. For those without dark vision, you can't
So-
make out color.
Let's describe what this little girl looks like.
Without using colors,
Well,
because we are
4 feet
colorblind.
11
No.
tall.
no, it's dim light, so you still see clearly like it's bright light. It's just
Oh, okay, cool. I was gonna say either way, I actually see everything in shades of red instead of green. Oh wait, no, that's Ifriti, not
yeah.
That's like,
Tiefling.
Anyway, continuing on. This is a tiny girl. She's 4 feet 11 tall, and she's got one rust red horn that sort of sticks up out of her head, and the other one's broken off, and it looks gnarled, very gnarled, but like weathered, I guess you would call it. She's scrawny, kind of malnourished. She has a prehensile tail that reaches almost to the floor if she's standing up. Currently, it's curled around her, trying to comfort her. If you get a good look at her eyes, which you probably wouldn't at this point, they are gold on gold. So the outside of part of the eye where it's supposed to be white, it's gold, but the inner part where the irises are and the color is, that's a darker shade of gold. Her clothes, the top is form-fitting, but that's also like a very, very well-worn piece of leather armor that's looked like it's moved up in a couple of sizes. But she has a poncho over that, which is scrunched up because of her position, and she's wearing like brown baggy pants that look like 2 or 3 sizes too large for her. Currently, she didn't bring any weapons with her, but if she did, she would have at least one short sword hanging off of her right hip. So she's got like a belt and like a sort of like thing. What the heck would that be called?
Scabbard?
Yeah. But it's like not the scabbard for the sword, it's sort of like the holding on the belt thing.
Mm. Oh, okay, a loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her bangs are short, right? They go down to her eyebrows, and then she's got sort of long hair, like in the front, and then very short. Obviously, what Zach put in the Discord. But she would be wearing a poncho at this point.
Right. Just Hero Forge doesn't have that yet.
Yeah, they said they were gonna have it like in a couple months, but this is
Right.
not a couple months. So
It's still on the list of things from Kickstarter.
oh, and if anybody's paying any bit close attention, she's wearing a red ring that she found.
Creatively acquired.
I wrote down that it sort of appeared to her like bright as a shining beacon, and it sort of has some significance to her, but she has absolutely no idea why. Other dimensions, infinite dimension.
Do we subscribe to the multi-worlds theory?
Yeah.
The many worlds theory? Alright. Yeah, so...
And speaking of her hair, it's like black, but then like the lower it goes, the whiter it gets until like the bangs are like pure like very white.
Aw, she looks afraid.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. You're just a kid.
It's all right, small child. We will not
Oh.
harm you.
And she's about 18 years old.
Yeah, not a kid, just malnourished. She's still
Very
very
malnourished.
scared.
And not even 5 foot tall. So she makes Allie feel tall.
Yeah, Allie's taller than you somehow. I'm gonna.
Wait, she's how tall?
She's 4'11". When
Holy crap, you're shorter than my girl by 1 inch.
That means that that Shava's even shorter than Allie.
Yeah,
Oh,
Shava's only 5 foot.
Allie is 5'3". I'm not the short one.
she is.
I'm tall now.
So since Shava doesn't have any weapons other than the mace other than the staff that she's got mage hand levitating, she's going to levitate the staff over to Connor so he can have his toy back.
Okay, thank you. I will
Wow.
take it happily.
Dangerous weapon to you, toy to me because I don't know how to use it, but still. And then I'll start slowly walking up, but staying just a little bit away from this new tiefling and this new tiefling before us.
At this
And-
point, she's just like blubbering, going, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I wasn't gonna take anything. I'm sorry.
Oh, I immediately sheath my rapier and I kneel down before her and I'm like, it's okay, we're not gonna hurt you, and offer my hand.
And I'll be slipping into Infernal, saying, it's alright, calm down. How did you get in here?
At this point, she takes your hand, she calms down a little bit, she's still like doing the racked sobs with tears coming down her cheeks, and she sort of points at the cart, kind of like points under it. Like she doesn't have any, like she can't say words right now because she's sort of like, after crying that hard, she's like, she can't form the words. She's like pointing under there, like I sort of with the and under, and that's exactly what comes out.
Oh, you came in under the cart.
Oh, great. And your hostess stows her revolver while rubbing her temples or the bridge of her nose.
Oh no.
Alright, so why did you come in?
You did some shit.
To put it lightly.
I wanted to know who and why.
Because it's my city. At least
Yeah,
now.
but why?
Power, money.
She seems to think on that. Like, but she doesn't question it, but you can see it in her face. But why?
And she just kind of smirks and winks and goes, because I could.
At that, she gets this sudden realization of, that makes sense.
And she just kind of gestures, who's hungry? And just walks out of the room.
I would love some food as soon as I get the rest of my belongings. And Connor would like to look for the rest of his belongings besides just his staff.
Oh, all your shit's there except for your money.
Well, what about money?
So
Well-
how badly bent are the pages on that one book that just kind of got dropped?
Probably not too bad.
I was gonna say,
Also-
let's have some fun. Roll a D100, Connor.
One sec.
Like, she didn't drop it from, like, head height. She looked
No,
at
it'd be
it
like
and then
waist
put it
high.
down, you know?
While this is going on, so what's your name in Infernal? Because that's what she's sticking to right now.
Roll a D100. Okay.
Infernal back, she just mumbles trouble.
Some of them are kind of dog-eared a little bit, but not too terribly.
Okay.
It's like the 2 or 3 that it kind of landed on are kind of bent and kind of folded, but aside from that, it's not god-awful.
All right. Yeah.
Like, I would think she didn't just, like, toss it. She sort of, like, knew that this one was a little bit more important, so she just sort of dropped it, which, you know, a couple of inches here and there, it sort of, like, tumbled off of the top book because she wasn't very precise. She didn't care. And, it just sort of landed weird. That's all.
Okay. So he like ignores his spell book and other belongings, immediately goes to that and starts trying to fix the corners. Like, like it's somehow
Mending.
more important than his spell book.
I just see him casting mending on it.
I don't have mending.
Uh-oh! Oh no!
I'll use prestidigitation to get rid of like the dust from the bottom of the carriage or anything else on it. But he's like fixes it, and it looks like super worn. Like you would have to attempt to read the cover like really hard if you wanted to. And there appears to also be a symbol that looks very worn as well, but shares similarities to the symbol on his spellbook.
So I found trouble in Infernal,
Yeah, what does
Okay.
it sound like?
Trafty.
Yeah, that sounds pretty much it.
Trafkdy. And now I'm saving this translator as well as the Draconic translator.
I was gonna say, which infernal
But, like-
translator is that?
Huh?
I was gonna say, which one was that one? Is that the
It's-
Lingogram one, or?
It's from lingojam.com. The
Oh,
Dungeons
Lingo
and
Jam.
Dragons Infernal Translator.
Yep. Yep, that's a pretty good one.
So I have a question. I know this is probably going to be a little bit weird, but does anybody notice anything, especially when like we all step into the light? Because Trouble, I don't know if you've noticed this, is kind of fey touched.
I was
Which
I was
means-
leaving that to your description. If it does something different in the light, I was figuring you'd describe that kind of thing.
Well, the thing is, her shadow dances when nobody's looking at it, like directly at it. So I'm sure
Somebody's
as
gonna
soon
notice it.
as soon as she steps into the like the light, somebody's gonna be like, "The fuck is that moving?"
Well, that's
They're
easy.
gonna look at her shadow and it's gonna stop.
That's real easy. Go ahead and do a disadvantaged stealth check.
Anyway, put the symbol in the Dyson Fools chat.
Wait, I have a question for Cat.
3.
Wait, why are you ruling the city?
That would be an 11.
You rolled that in Guild Hall and it worked.
Well, yes,
Oh,
because it
well,
doesn't
whoops,
matter.
My bad.
All right,
Oh.
so 11. So,
Sounds
So-
I
cut
can
out.
re-roll it in
I,
here.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't even hear that.
No, it's
part.
okay.
I'm sorry.
so I was gonna say everyone with passive perception of above 11 can see it from the corner of their eye that is dancing.
Let me check. I think I do.
Because one of those you can't hide your shadow being a dick, but but it's a matter of when nobody's looking, so it'd be passive.
Right. It's when nobody's looking directly at it. So.
Right.
Yep, I got it. So I can see it. I've got a 12.
So, the corner of my eye, I might just assume that I'm seeing things or that there's
Right.
some sort of light flickering
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, Connor will notice it, but he's too worried about his book to care.
So, if we're gonna go get something to eat, you might want to get dressed and cleaned up first.
You're talking in Trouble, right?
Yep. Considering the rest of us all got cleaned up and dressed.
Just sort of looks at you like, "You serious? They're gonna kick her out like immediately." She just gives you that side eye of, "You serious?"
Hey, unless Callie is saying no.
She didn't.
So yeah, Shava's inviting Trouble to dinner.
Come join us.
Oh,
Again,
but Shava,
You
you
serious?
would notice from where you are. You would notice Five's corpse in the cart.
Guys, I'll catch up with you. And after they walk away, I'll go in there.
Yeah. Well, Connor's gonna get, after making sure there are no tears in his book, he'll pick up the spell book, kind of dust it off, like skim through it to make sure everything's fine, and then put it back where it normally goes. And he'll just grab his stuff, planning on probably getting changed into his clothes probably after dinner. But he'll just kind of wave to Shava and is like, have a time.
Have fun! Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like almost like trying to be like helpful and friendly, and then like, oh, that's what you're doing. I was too focused on my books. Have a time, and then he will turn and leave.
Have a time. Well, fuck you too! Okay. Allie?
I guess if everyone's getting up to leave for dinner, once they're all out of the room, I want to turn to Callie and ask, after dinner, can we talk?
Sure. Sure, you have a lot of questions.
I just picture the kid at first. I guess she's not a kid, but she's shorter than me. See, I'm not the shortest anymore. I'm tall.
Aww.
I'm not a kid! So, when you guys enter the dining hall, you see that stranger from before dropping a whole chicken down on the floor. To be eaten by a domesticated velociraptor.
Yay.
Looks like a fat pink chicken.
It's a chicken raptor. Aw.
Had an Easter egg. It had Easter egg previous characters in.
Yeah, and I'm honestly really happy with it. If you can't tell.
And as everybody settles in, the food is brought out for you guys. The various meats and fruits and vegetables. You know, like I said, they're largely like little chickens or whole chickens are brought out. So, like, there's no need to go light if you're hungry.
Oh, Connor will definitely partake in all the food.
And you guys each are poured a glass of wine.
Oh, I drink it right away without even
Ooh, I haven't had this in a while. He'll probably follow Allie's approach like wine.
Even before all this is happening, Trouble is just like fidgeting by the door, like, yeah, any minute now. This food looks great, but they're gonna kick me out because I'm not supposed to be here. Any minute now.
At which point the redhead looks at you and kind of gestures to come to the table.
She does that thing where like, you looking at me? You talking me?
Yes, you come eat. I know what it's like.
She gingerly steps in and like picks up like one tiny little thing, and then like takes a bite out of that tiny little thing, and then looks over and like, you're not gonna kill me for being here?
And at which point your hostess looks to her guest and goes, so are you able to cure diseases yet, or do you need supplies? Above table, I was running on the mentality that these two characters are about level 10 at least.
Okay.
So, and it's one of those, you don't, if it wouldn't be one that he'd have or have ready, it's fine. Because there are other means.
Let me think about it. He'd. Oh wow. Oh, wait, they're level. He. Sorry, I just had a thing he can do at level 10. It's funny. I think he'd. I honestly, I think he would. I think he'd have. What is it? Greater restoration. Let me check.
I think that's what you said about it.
Okay, I don't know why they did that.
What?
Lingo Jam has English to gay
What?
That's dumb.
What?
as a translator. English to gay.
Okay, what?
The
Eh,
fuck?
The best part is, it's just to fuck with people. It's just English to English. It's just an English
Okay.
to English program.
Okay. That's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
They did it as a joke thing for people because of people saying that gay people speak a different language.
Oh my god.
Well, now that I know it's satire, it feels a little bit better because at first I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I think he would. Role-playing characters. All right. So he would kind of probably finish whatever his mouthful would be as like, yeah, I could do that. I just need some diamond dust for the big get rid of disease thingy.
How much?
He seems to think for a minute, like, probably about, and essentially the equivalent to, 100 gold pieces of diamond dust, but he would probably say about this much and make kind of a cup with his hands.
She just kind of nods, looks over at the party and goes, "Guess your asses are mine until you work off how much it's going to cost for him to cast a spell, huh?"
At this point, not seeing any problems with eating. Trouble is just now gorging herself over and like sort of off in the corner of the table. She's just like pulling food and like this is the first time she's eaten in a long time.
Right.
Long.
She's gonna have greasy shits.
Oh yeah.
And I would like to also point out that despite having a whole chicken, he is sneaking scraps to Fiona under the table.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that.
Mm-hmm.
I just turned to Callie and I'm just sort of like, my love, you know that I would already do anything for you. I don't even have incentive for it.
Oh, I know. I mean them, specifically
So,
him. And she points at Connor.
so about when do I come back in?
Well, I was going to get there. Now that the stage is set. Okay. What are you trying, Shava?
Oh, you mean like what am I trying back there?
Yeah,
In
what
the
are
room?
you doing? While the party is eating, what are you doing?
Well, first I was trying to see if Warforged, if they had a central intelligence part of them, being that they are more machine still.
Yeah.
And if they did, Shava was going to see if she could more or less safely remove it without damaging it. That way, even if it can't ever be reactivated, it's still a piece of Casimir that has his sentience.
Okay.
That's just to say,
Checking.
you never know. I could go full Iron Man and make a helmet that has him as an AI in it.
Well, there's nothing saying that you can't try to repair.
Say what now? Sorry, my mic cut in and out again.
Oh, I said there's nothing saying that you can't try to repair.
True, I can try to repair them. I'll have to retrieve. I'll retrieve my tinker's tools from my tool bag, and I will be trying to see if I can repair him.
It would definitely take at least a good week of work at 8 hours a day in a full workshop to even begin to try. There's nothing, you might be able to do field repair like you have, but for this kind of level, you'd have to do a full-blown rebuild.
So I'm guessing for right now it was just me I'm guessing for right now it was mostly just me doing a field check to see if I can repair him later on.
Yep, and you can definitely tell the wound. Well, wait. Go and do an investigation check with intelligence.
Investigation already is intelligence,
Okay.
I believe. Yes. All right. Cool. It is. Yep.
Well, I can't remember if it was or not. Yes, it is.
Of course, another nat 1. That's
Oh.
3 nat 1s for me today.
Well, go ahead and do it at advantage because you are familiar with this one. Or you could... Or you could burn your... Yeah. There you go.
Woohoo! 23. Unless
Just
I
say-
also get to add.
Well, you have your Tinker's tools. I thought you were including that already.
Oh no, that was just with my basic advantage. With my basic. Adding in the
So-
Tinker's tools, that's another +3.
Oh yeah, you would definitely be able to tell that the wound was self-inflicted. That he hit himself, aimed for his core.
And it's not like cores for Warforged grow on trees. Dang it, Casimir.
And somebody cracks open a cold one. It's probably Allie.
Yeah.
I had to slip that joke in there.
However, I will be right back.
That's a running gag in the podcast that she's in. Is one of their alcoholic characters. Anytime somebody cracks open a can, the joke is that this character cracks open a cold one. It doesn't matter which player opens a can. If it picks up on the mic, it's blamed on this character.
Oh god. And let's not forget, I keep cracking open cans usually. The last 2 times they didn't pick up on the mic though, thankfully.
So you can see that Fives fucked himself up pretty good. Though you aren't sure why.
Not sure of why, but the important thing is, even though the power core is destroyed, at least that means he didn't take out his actual intelligence unit, his personality and all that. So if I can find a way to repair his power core or get another one, I might be able to get him back online. Or at least that's what Shava is thinking.
Right.
And hoping.
Right, pretty much. Okay. So, after that, you're going to join them for FID, or are you going to spend your time trying to figure out what you can do? How long are you going to be dealing with the body? So far, I'd say it's probably been 5 or 10 minutes just to get the basic field dressing.
She's going as far as doing the basic field dressing and making sure that with his power core damaged, making sure that his memory, his personality, all of that won't go away, won't be wiped. And then knowing that she can't do any more without a proper facility, she will grab a couple of her work kits and go to dinner. Completely ignoring the fact that she's probably covered in oil and grease now.
Okay. As you approach,
yeah.
one of the servants kind of gestures to you and goes, "There's plenty. Go wash up." Because they definitely don't want to clean up after that shit. They already have blood to deal with. Which they may or may not already be on.
12, I get
What's that?
Huh?
Oh, I didn't quite hear what you said.
Oh, no, I'm talking to myself, because since you're on another scene, I'm going and I'm making a separate character sheet for you-know-who and leveling up to 10, so I'm just picking out spells.
Gotcha. You're figuring out what he would look like at level 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use Prestidigitation to clean my upper half of my clothes, and then Prestidigitation to clean my pants. Seeing as it works on an object, just not a person.
But her hands, they're covered in oil.
Yeah, I wasn't wearing my work gloves. Crap. Alright, I'll go wash up.
So about 20 minutes into food, Shava finally shows up.
Java, come join us.
Yeah, they wouldn't have given you enough to get drunk. They know how you are.
So, what did I miss?
I half expected somebody to go, "We're slaves!"
Is anybody gonna say what she missed?
Trouble still eating.
Nothing really. We've just been kind of eating. Chicken.
Should I roll detect bullshit on that?
Oh yeah, that would definitely be a deception and insight.
Well, I have proficiency in that, but that doesn't mean crap because my wisdom is bad.
Let me see. What's my deception?
Oh my god! I had one good roll.
I quite literally have to roll a 1 to not.
Well, don't say that. You never know. This dice pot might give you a 1.
Let's see. Let me
I was
double
gonna
check.
say,
Make sure. Yeah.
you guys do have inspiration if you want to burn that. Say-
Deception. Let's see.
I
do it though.
Dice pot.
Oh, okay. So
Still works.
that's close enough where you, I guess you would not really see as mistruth. Just kind of the way he says it kind of leaves you with a, okay, what are you not telling me?
Sort of he's acting strange, but he is kind of strange, so that could
He's
be in
acting
character
strange,
for him.
but he's kind of an idiot. So
You wouldn't call him an idiot. He's smart, just different.
Nice name change.
gotta keep it on theme. Okay. So yeah, you'd have only gotten about maybe maybe two, maybe 3 glasses of wine over the course of dinner, Allie, because Irvy's not the only alcoholic she's got to deal with. Because someone gave the baby dragon alcohol.
The baby dragon was the one who made my habit worse in the first place.
You can thank Tom for Irvy's personality.
Sorry. I always think it's cute when familiars get booze.
The little jet.
All right. So no one else is going to say anything about Connor's statement? No, we've just been drinking, eating.
Trouble's off in her own little world. This is the first time she's had, like I said, first time food,
Hot food.
hot food, warm food, food in general. That's not bread. That's a loaf of bread that had to be stretched out for like 2 weeks. So this is, oh my god, this is heaven for her. She doesn't know what to do with herself.
She's going to have a bit of a
Tomorrow-
pooch. Or pouch.
Tomorrow
she's
when
like-
I go to... Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
Tomorrow when I go to the college, I would like to take Casimir's body with me.
That's fine. I was assuming that was one of your companions.
He was. And I'm hoping he can still be repaired. Brought back online.
Well, what your friend didn't tell you is we have a means to heal him once we get the supplies.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. This food is too delicious.
But it's going to cost you.
At Connor saying too delicious, you hear Trouble going, I've been going silent again and eating some more.
Oh, but I wanted to see how long until the affliction would start showing more results. I mean, we killed all the other samples. I mean, all the other, infected.
While I agree that would be kind of fun, she kind of looks at Connor.
Connor's just kind of like probably a mouthful of chicken, like,
I don't think the risk is worth it.
I agree, though I doubt it could take me over with my massive arcane power.
I guess I can understand that. I mean, we had to hack our way through an army of them. It seems to spread really easily.
Yeah, and with how you said you're from the city, could you imagine just one person infected here? How fast it would spread?
Yeah.
Or any way
So,
to find a cure?
That's what we were discussing.
should I mention the vial of the contagion that I have in my makeshift alchemy kit?
No, that would be handy to get to at least your guild. Maybe the wizards, I don't know.
We do have an alchemy sub-branch of our guild that might be able to figure out something from it.
But I really want to avoid a pandemic. Unless we're throwing him out in the slums.
During this entire
It would
time,
almost be a mercy having seen them.
during this entire time, while you guys are talking, Trouble is like sort of shifting slowly towards Connor. When she gets close enough to him, do you eat like this every day?
To me,
Yeah.
just kind of looks over as like, how would Connor react to that?
Used to?
No, Connor wouldn't say that. Some of the time when I can, other times I am fine with things such as beef jerky and water. For I can live off arcane power for a time.
For about the length of time it takes a normal person to starve to death.
Exactly.
That's why you befriend a druid.
I thought about it, but I didn't. Could have also taken Goodberry, but that would have ruined my backstory, and No.
And there's nothing stopping you from later on
Yeah.
getting magic initiative
Later.
and getting it
Good
later.
theory.
Good Barry, the one spell that would actually totally break an economy.
Mhm. And guess who has it?
I mean, think about it. If you could, with a spell, produce 4 berries that could feed someone for a day, it would provide nourishment. It might not provide what the body needs. You get sick if you survive on only that. But between
they
that,
really did make Goodberry brokenly awesome now.
you pair that with lesser restoration, and you'll completely destroy. A single druid could completely destroy an economy.
Oh,
That
absolutely.
explains why druid circles normally don't interact with city economies or cities in
Bingo.
general.
Yeah.
Hey, Fiona, have some more chicken.
Druids used to only be able to use Goodberry on actual berries. It
Right.
was so disappointing. But I would always do this thing of just making sure I had poisonous berries and using the spell on them. Because only the druid knows which ones are good and which ones aren't.
Right. And it's one of those I would have made an argument for if you're on near any vine or tree. Or I mean vine or bush. You should be able to make it produce a couple berries with a spell, as well as converting physical berries you already have.
Hmm.
And I can see that being the one caveat in making the spell have that house rule to kind of balance it on an economical standpoint.
Right.
But so yeah, you guys, looks like she looks at Connor, are in the hole for 500 gold. So you're gonna work it off.
500?
Well, components and time. I mean, as a master of the arcane, surely you know that casting a spell costs something.
Of course
Hey.
I know that. I am Connor Veritas, Master of the Arcane.
Isn't that only about as much as what you fetched on the slave market?
You just hear when your character says that, you just hear Trouble go, just really loudly, and then cover her mouth up like. Did
Well,
he-
obviously, whoever was attempting to buy me would have got me for quite the bargain.
I think that was my dad.
Whoever would have bought me, I was planning to go out after biting it off.
But somebody beat you to that.
Yes.
Oliver was on the list to take care of for a while. It was just a matter of getting him outside of his manor. I guess I should really thank him. This place is nice. And that's when you notice a big ass painting of him that the servants are taking down.
I used prestidigitation to draw a mustache on it.
He already has a mustache.
An even bigger, freakier one.
And I will use it to give him a unibrow.
I walk up into it and slash it with my rapier.
Okay.
I walk up to it, not into it.
I walk into it.
That drunk.
You do one of those things that they do for football teams where you go right through the banner.
Yeah! For context, this is what he looked like.
Oh my god, he's
Oh,
I know, right? I was
Oh
like,
no, he's Oliver. I'm getting my Radiant characters mixed up.
I thought you'd appreciate that Easter egg.
Oscar is a nice lancer who never opens his eyes.
Fire Emblem. A reference to the two best Fire Emblem games in the series.
But wait, Callie, why? How did you come to rule the city? And how did you come to rule the city?
Well, the city had a basic power structure of destroying each other, mutual destruction. The idea that none of them actually had an advantage. I'm guessing an outside influence could completely disrupt the balance, throw it on its head, and then the new interloper would have complete power.
Oh. And she just goes, one of the tools in my kit happens to be someone who makes those who our problems go away.
Shemek?
Well, I was going to name names. It was beneficial.
Well,
We clean him out, she gets half the money.
Can you ban slavery?
Well, that was the last guild.
Is it gone now?
For now. Somebody else tries? Well, I think after today, nobody's going to try for a while.
Alex goes over to Callie and kisses her.
I feel like my one character, both of the characters there would just kind of smile at that.
Alright, hero. You know that?
No. Oh.
Trouble offers a chicken leg to Connor, like, you want?
Connor will accept, like, sure.
Ow.
Do you
Oh, yeah. I don't think I introduced you guys. Alright. Oh. And she would go about introducing Talgan to Allie and leave Allie to introduce herself or the rest of her group. And the guest who she doesn't know the name of. So.
Oh, that's right. She never actually announced her name, and
Yeah, she said it in Infernal.
that's right. I forgot about that.
so
The
I
only
know
person-
her name.
And I do.
The only two people here that know her name is, wow. She ain't offering that up. She's just, if nobody asked, then
So.
I had actually completely forgotten about that. That's really funny.
Talgan's an old friend from previous misadventures.
He just kind of waves.
I think he said something about he was investigating some woods in the area, but that's no longer an issue because somebody blew them up.
Mm-hmm. He just kind of nods, and then he picks up Fiona, and this is Fiona. She's my little chicken raptor. And he scritches the side of her head.
And this is where we pit the druid versus the wizard who blew up the forest.
Don't pit my characters against each other. I'm not that good at role-playing.
You just have to argue with yourself.
Oh, God.
And then it'll be like, stop hitting yourself, and it'll be literal.
Well, the funniest part was, for a little while, he was thinking about playing Talgan.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
kind of wish I did now.
I remember you mentioning Druid.
Mm-hmm.
But then you wouldn't have Connor Veritas.
I know, I'm so torn. But now, yeah. So yeah, that's Talgan Moonseer and his little chicken raptor.
Oh, the shenanigans. Okay. And after the introductions, Callie would look at Trouble and go, and who are you?
she looks both like she looks around like, oh shit, she's finally noticed. She'd be like, I'm trouble.
Clearly, and that the fun ones are. But your name?
Trouble.
On the nose. Okay. Who am I to talk?
She laughs nervously and like doesn't go like for more food, but she sort of like is holding food in her hand like oh boy, I'm in trouble. As per her name.
So, tomorrow, Connor, you begin your work to earn your cure.
Sure, I can do that. I am a master of the arcane, after all.
Don't worry, it's not that bad. I already live in crippling debt from a student loan.
Yeah, you're on your own there.
Oh, and guild dues.
Though, I will say this. Some of what we confiscated from the bandits will be yours. And if you guys decide to help him with his tasks, you'll be paid. And don't worry, Connor, you'll be paid too once your debt's paid off.
Connor just nods, more chicken in his mouth.
After all, slavery is one way to make money.
See, I told you indentured servitude was becoming all the rage.
And after dinner, you guys would be shown to rooms. Even Trouble, though Trouble's room probably wouldn't have anything of value in it, just because.
Point because she broke in and
She may or may not be watched as she sleeps.
And
if she were watched, you would notice, like, she doesn't fall asleep regularly. She cries herself to sleep.
Oh, that's funny. So does other people here. All right.
I would just like to point out, when Talgan leaves, like halfway walking to leave to go to his room, he turns into a direwolf as he's leaving.
Because
that's
he
what he would
can.
do. Because he can and he likes doing it.
Oh, come on. No dogs in the house. So, yeah, I think that's a good place to call it, is everybody going to bed and actually getting sleep. Getting a full rest.
Oh, yay! My maximum hit points go down by 1.
As you entered, was it day 3 of infection or day 4?
Yeah. I'm just gonna say it, I'm down to 20 HP.
We're gonna find a way to save you.
Day 4 it
Holy
is.
crap. You're down to way lower than half of my HP.
To be fair, he had 24 to begin with.
Uh-huh.
Come to
Yeah.
all of you, and we're gonna find a way to save everyone.
I mean, we have a way to save Connor.
It's just
I
Though-
realize I actually have a lot of HP as an artificer.
I would say before you guys are scuttled to your bed or bedrooms where your stuff is actually waiting for you, amongst it is a small coin bag of 100 gold each, just sitting there at the foot of the bed.
Including Connor?
Yeah,
Ooh, spending money.
he has money to
Good.
live on while he's a slave. Employee.
Indentured servant.
Yes.
Cool, I will spend 10 of that when I get the chance because I need to get my owl back.
I'm pretty sure you might be able to buy herbs off of a certain druid. But yeah, I think that's it's a little early. It's a shorter one because we started late. But
That's fine.
Considering I had absolutely nothing figured out for 3 weeks, I think it went okay.
I think it went great. Oh, Talgan. Oh, I missed you.
So yeah, I think that's it for this week. If you're hanging out and lurking, thanks for watching. I'll have to download this and upload it to YouTube in the next couple days, just so that we have a history of these misadventures. And oh god, oh god, why? What?
Well, it had a happier ending than I thought. For now.
Yeah.
For
Oh my
now.
god, that was amazing.
Wait until the jobs begin.
Oh, it's fine. We have the power of hope.
No, we have the power of the mastery of the arcane.
So what do you guys
God,
think?
oh God, we're all gonna die.
We have the power of the future greatest duelist in all the land.
So
And the master of the arcane.
I'll be ending the stream in just a moment, but the housekeeping side is I'll be streaming more BioShock on Monday. So if you're lurking, thanks for hanging out, and hopefully I'll see you there. Bye.
Bye.
Later.
What did you guys